So it's going to be a little weird tonight. Things are going to be just a little bit different than they have before. Um, we are going to do the villain bracket challenge that we've been doing, the horror movie villain. Um, I did screw up the bracket a little bit. I got to tell you, I really did. I think we put an odd number of teams on each side, so we're going to have to figure that out tonight. We've got 8 matchups, I believe, that we're going to go with. You know, I have horrible handwriting, but Ashley is asleep. She hasn't been able to help me. We will have this up. Here's the thing. I have a really hard trouble getting this into the shot for TikTok, and TikTok has not been doing me very well lately. So if you want a full view of what's going on right here, you can go over to my YouTube page. Okay. Same name, same bat time, same bat channel, 9 o'clock every Wednesday night. Colombian Cracker on YouTube. Please go over there. Send me a follow, and I've got a slightly different view. I've got another angle going on over here, and you will actually be able to see this entire board. But that's the only way that I can fit everything in. So rest in peace. Did Coolio die? Did that really happen? I don't know, man. Lil Wayne's died like 10 times. I'm not sure. I don't use Twitch. I really have never used Twitch. We've got the original board up here, and I want to go down some of these. And again, I'm gonna let me open up the phone lines as well, so we can get some phone calls coming in here. I'm gonna have to set that as a separate screen so I can see everything that's going on here. We got a lot happening. I need like dual screens to do everything that I really want to do here. And you're going to get a little bit better sound quality if you're over on YouTube, because I've got the microphone going. Unfortunately, we could not get my soundboard to work correctly with TikTok. So, where do we need to go from here? Let's do a rundown of this. And again, the phone lines will be open, 512-937-2722. So if you want to call in and tell us your ghost story, what is your personal ghost story? We've had some really, really freaky ones over the last, what have we been doing this now? The 4 weeks. So Northern Ireland, again, what's up? Elvis is in the house. There's another regular. And we're going to go down, I want to do a recap of how we got to where we are on our villain board, okay? Our villain challenge for the scariest horror movie villain of all time. And I do go live for the Chiefs games. This last week, I just had family from all over in town, and I barely got a chance to watch any of the game. We had it on in the background while we were getting ready for an event. I watched like 3 plays. But yes, that hopefully will be the only Chiefs game that I miss all year. We do those lives as well every Sunday or Thursday or Monday, whenever they decide to play them. So, and you should be able to find it. It's the same thing. Make sure that you're spelling it correctly. Cracker is spelled Craker. It's missing a C. Okay. It's not a hard K. Or maybe it makes it harder. I don't know. So, oh yes, I know. I do need to check my PO box, and they screwed up my PO box. They had my stuff going to somebody else, so I had to. Let me explain how odd this thing is. Okay, Shelby, thank you so much. I didn't plan on doing this. I didn't plan on being this TikTok try food weird stuff guy. Okay, I have a PO box. Never thought I'd have that, and people send me some of the greatest things, and I can't wait to see yours. Something insanely wild is that for the first time I had to prove, so I could get my packages, that I was Colombian Cracker. I literally had to prove it, and I was like, how am I going to prove this? And eventually I just showed them my TikTok. They looked at it, looked at me, said, okay. Yeah, see, I knew it. See, there you go. if you're watching me on YouTube, welcome to the show. So we do want to, I'm going to be erasing this here in a minute. We're going to start fresh with our winners from last week. Okay. So I just go over a few of these so that we can get, just a good look at where we've come from to get here. And again, if you have like a personal ghost story that you want to tell us, I want to hear it. Okay. The number is 512-937-2722. We all want to hear it. You don't have to use your real name. Just call in. Just have a conversation with me. So first off, we had Jason versus Samara in the ring. Again, you can see this better on YouTube. Okay. Colombian Cracker. This is our bracket. Jason beat out Samara from the ring, which I thought was a tough matchup, but you guys voted. You said hands down, Jason's got this. Okay. Then Pumpkinhead versus Kathy Bates. I'm not sure what happened there, but Kathy Bates took the win. Mike Myers, I'm telling you, Mike Myers fans showed up in a huge, huge way. Like, you guys came out of the woodworks to explain why Mike Myers was so much cooler than Leatherface. So kudos to you guys. And the music is always just super creepy, right? I mean, I really do. I know a boom mic would be great. This is an old mic. I have a whole bunch of old mics from when I worked at radio. This is just an old school one that I have. It's USB, so I guess it's not that old school, right? So, had more nightmares. Last one was Evil Dead. Oh man, and the remake for Evil Dead is, to me, like one of the best like reboot remakes ever. They did such an amazing job with that, and that gives me goosebumps. So Mike Myers went on. Ghostface made it on this list and went against Annabelle. Annabelle took that hands down, and I think it's because Ghostface is just a regular guy, right? A couple just stupid, psychotic high school kids, essentially. Then you had Pennywise, and Pennywise took on this guy, and I think you know that laugh. I mean, you can't. I love that laugh. You can't not love Chucky. Thank you, Lauren. But Pennywise was, or I'm sorry, yeah, Pennywise went up against Chucky, and it was Tim Curry's Pennywise. It wasn't the new Pennywise, and a lot of people have some pretty horrific nightmares going back to their youth, and there are a lot of people that I know to this day that are horrified of clowns just from watching Tim Curry's Pennywise. So, and we talked about that. So I let everybody that was watching pick these. So you're asking if it's Christine, does the car count? Christine was on the honorable mention list, but didn't end up making the final cut. We kind of took out like the cars and the animals. There was, like Cujo and stuff like that. But we did have an honorable mention list that had some pretty interesting characters, like Megan Fox from Jennifer's Body. She was on this list, but she lost last week to Krampus. Okay, which is pretty freaky in his own right. When we went to the other side, we had Sam from Trick or Treat take on Miss Trunchbull. And Miss Trunchbull was another one of our honorable mentions, which probably maybe should have never made the list, but did, right? But made the list. So Mrs. Trunchbull actually beat Sam from Trick or Treat. And she's going to be fighting it out this week against whoever won versus the Creeper and the Nun. And the Nun in its own right is pretty creepy. But in the end, it was, if I could get this music right here for the Creeper. Like, I remember hearing this song when I was a kid, but it took on a whole new meaning once I finally got to see Jeepers Creepers for the first time. And I can't say enough about that as far as more modern like what was that, early 2000s? So I'm saying more modern, but as far as monster movies go, I thought it was a great new character for us to enjoy. And now he's moving on to what, the third movie or something. So no, never have been scared of the clown. See, you're one of the few. The clown from Air Bud, and I'm assuming that was because you originally saw Pennywise, right? So, and Jason is the best. He is one of the top ones on here. You've got your Pinhead, your Jason, your Freddy Krueger, your Mike Myers, right? But it doesn't mean that they're the most terrifying, right? They're the longest stay and maybe the most entertaining for the most part, and they've had the most money put into them. So I'm reversed again. Everything on the board is I'm going to have to fix this. So hopefully you can see it. I think it's reversed on YouTube too, unfortunately, but you can at least see the whole board. So when I saw Jeepers Creepers was, yeah, it was very scary. Yeah, and you might be the only one there, to be really honest with you. Let me see. Mike Jones, Proud Viking, Mike Jones. I like that. You got a rap song named after you. I love it. Okay, I can see it. Kiefer Sutherland from the Lost Boys, fantastic. But was he the villain though? I mean, he wasn't really the villain. The scary thing was that he was just a pawn, right? The villain was the mom's boyfriend, right? And then we had the Critters was mentioned, and Critters was in honorable mention, but we were looking kind of more for single individual, villain, a central villain, as opposed to like we had the Clowns from Outer Space was mentioned, things like that. So Trunchbull for the win. She could go all the way. She is the dark horse right now. I did not expect her to get out of round one, and she did. She really, really did. So next up, we had the Tooth Fairy, and the Tooth Fairy from Darkness Falls, which was super creepy to me when I was younger, and it freaked me out to see such a, like Krampus, such a beloved kind of character just turn into this villain. But she did not last long, because she took on this guy, Mr. Freddy Krueger. And while they have a similar, maybe somewhat similar skill set, Freddy was the hands down favorite for this. Absolutely. And then, so when you're talking movies, yes, From Dusk Till Dawn, great movie, but no central villain. Spike was mentioned from Gremlins, and he was on the honorable mention board, but in the end, he didn't make the final cut. And I bet Tony, you know it. You know they're going to reboot this over and over and over again, and hopefully they get new directors with just great ideas. So I loved Freddy versus Jason. I thought that was a super underrated movie. It was fun. It was nostalgic at that time when nostalgia wasn't really hitting like it is now. I loved it. So, is Viking the only one who's lagging? So Kelly Rowland versus Freddy. But was that the thing though? I mean, like, it was like he won the fight, but he didn't win the war, right? He won the battle, but not the war. So then we've got Billy the Puppet somehow made it on to this list. And he took on the Candyman. Now, that was a no-brainer, right? The Candyman came out, hook and all, swinging. He's not going to go down easy. That is one of the more, I'd say, kind of more obscure ones that got a sequel was Candyman. What I thought was also one of the cheesiest yet best backstories for for a horror movie villain of his caliber. The Puppet Master took on the Leprechaun, and the Leprechaun won pretty easily, hands down. Leprechaun into hood and the whole nine. He took him down pretty fast. And then the last one was Dr. Satan. Remember Dr. Satan from House of a Thousand Corpses? He is kind of a beloved underground character from a Rob Zombie film. And he's pretty malicious, but yet when he goes up against somebody like this,
put some paint on you.
How dare you use that word?
He's got pins in his head.
What you think?
This guy who acted Pinhead was incredible.
Pain has a face.
I love this.
Allow me to show it to you.
Pinhead is so hard to beat in a matchup, in any one of these matchups, that it's going to be very interesting to see if and when he gets taken down and by whom. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark this out. This is I might want to keep what I've got. Let's see, Trunchbull, the Creeper. Whoop. Freddy, I would have done this before we started, but I work for a living. Sorry. And I want to be able to screen share this with you, but there are just so many limitations with TikTok, unless you're a gamer. When they brought out the gamer streams, they can share their screen and all kinds of stuff. So let's see. Then on this side, we've got Jason. Who was that? Kathy Bates. I'm just writing them down real quick so I can re-put them up. I don't want to lose them. Annabelle, Pennywise, and Krampus. Okay. So I'm going to mark this out here. Trunchbull for the win still. I haven't seen it. I don't think the new Pinhead's out yet. Is it? I mean, they've got the trailers for it, and I'll tell you what, it looks pretty cool. I mean, the new look for Pinhead is insane. They've got a woman playing Pinhead. In the books, Pinhead is without gender. So I don't think there should be any complaints there about that. I just want to know that Pinhead's going to be creepy and otherworldly and evil, and and you can't stop him. That's what I want. That is what I want. So we're going to start putting these up on the board. Yeah, you should go check it out. They have like some behind the scenes stuff and things like that for it. All right. So over here, we've got Jason is going to be taking on Kathy Bates. And again, if you want to call in at any time with your stories, the number is 512-937-2722. Who is Mike Myers? And I do not have my wife's handwriting, so bear with me. Mike Myers and who was it that they're fighting? Annabelle. I hope I'm spelling Annabelle correctly. I was an English major, but I'm horrible at spelling names. I don't understand it. I know that they were talking about doing another Ghostbusters. And they set it up for it after the end of the last one. So this is going to be a great matchup, by the way. Pennywise versus Krampus. That's going to be interesting to see who's going to take that one. And then over here, we've got Tom. We got Miss Trunchbull. I don't think she was ever married. Miss Trunchbull versus the Creeper, and that's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough for her to get to the next round, I think. But I didn't think she was going to take Sam from Trick or Treat in the first round, so I'm not sure what to say there. Next one is going to be what is it? Whoop! It's Candyman, or who is it? Let's see. The Creeper. Oh, it's Freddy. That might be the best matchup that we have. Freddy versus the Candyman tonight. And then the Leprechaun versus Pinhead. All right. So there we go. We got our board. We got our board up. It's not pretty, but it works. And we're going to roll with it. So let's see. We almost got Mike Myers versus Pinhead. But they ended up on different sides. Like we could end up with that. That's the great thing. That could be the championship here, right? That really could be the championship. And again, if you want a better view and you want to be able to see this whole board, just go find me on YouTube. Same name, Colombian Cracker spelled Craker. I notice a lot of people put hashtag Colombian Cracker with the CK. That's my bad. That's just how I spell it. Said, hey, surprise, brother. Oh, Proud Viking. Thank you, sir. Proud Viking just subscribed to my channel. I appreciate that. Right up here at the top. Now, Proud, when you're done or whenever you want, there is a secret message that's only for you in your subscription, your extra subscription things. So we've got some more things coming soon. That TikTok is allowing us to be a little more hands-on, make some videos that are only for you guys. And again, right now you can see the secret messages. After here within the next week or so, I won't have to just leave a secret message. I can leave you guys a video personally so you guys know what's going on behind the scenes. If you are a subscriber now, like Tom, there is an update to our previous message on there. That you might be interested in hearing about. So again, that's for our subscribers up here. And we're going to do a lot more with that in the future. Let's see. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tom, thank you. Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate that. But again, if you want to jump on YouTube, you're going to get a better view of this board. So again, if you have a story that you want to tell, and Tom, you can call in whenever you want. I would love to hear, and I know everybody else here would love to hear about the Orleans Inn. And when he does that, why don't you guys hit a whole bunch of these likes up here so we can get this up to like 10,000, get some more people in here. Okay, cool. All right, that would be awesome. I tried mail on pizza today. Not too shabby. Yeah, pizza goes with a lot of stuff. It's kind of like peanut butter, right? So, first things first, we're gonna stay on. Let's see, which is gonna be the best. Oh, hold on. We got a caller. Oh, something just happened. Okay, we don't have a caller. We lost the caller. Try calling back. I may have hit something. I'm sorry. Please try calling back again. 512-937-2722. Jeepers Creepers. Creeper is over here on the other side. And Creeper, I think, may have the easiest yet the hardest matchup there is, because the Creeper's taking on Trunchbull. Freddy Krueger's taking on the Candyman. Leprechaun will be taking on Pinhead tonight. Pennywise versus Krampus. That's going to be an interesting one. Mike Myers versus Annabelle. And Jason Voorhees versus Kathy Bates. Okay. And again, this is up to you guys. You guys are going to be voting on these. So thank you, Anime Dragon. I appreciate that. Yes, stories. Please distract us from the hurricane. I am so sorry, Zing. I know I saw your message earlier. I hope you guys are okay. Um, I really, really hope you guys are okay. And love and prayers to everybody that's in Florida right now, because you never know what that thing's going to do. I remember living in Virginia Beach and having a couple hurricanes come through, and they're tough, but they're nothing like what they get down in the Gulf. It's nuts. So, I think I want to. Where do we want to start? I don't even know where to start. I think I'm going to start down at the bottom down here, right? I think we're going to go Pennywise and Krampus. I think that's how we're going to have to start this out. And again, if you just tried to call, please try one more time. Hold on one second. Let me fix it. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay. That should work. That should do it right there if you call in. I am sorry. I've got a lot going on tonight here. Between here and I got YouTube. So it went to voicemail. Okay, try one more time, Tom. Let's see if this goes through. Because it shouldn't be going to voicemail. It should be up and ready to go. But the first one that I want to do is Pennywise versus Krampus. And if you want to call in just to tell me why you think one of these characters, one of these villains should win this matchup, I am all for it. We did that last week. Somebody called in just to tell us why. What was it? Who was that? Was it? It was Jason versus. I don't remember, but I remember it was Jason versus Samara. We had two people call in to plead their case for each. Jason still won. So there we go. Thanks for calling Freak Me Out. Tom, is that you?
It is.
Hey, how are you? How are you doing tonight?
Can you hear me?
I can.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's been a long day, but this is this makes it fun. This makes it all worth it.
So did you do any reading on the Orleans Inn?
I did a little bit when I had a break today. I was like, what was that he wanted me to look up? And I saw on there, that's why I was hoping I could share my screen on YouTube, because I saw a picture that the Boston Globe, I believe, somebody had taken a picture what looked like back in the 80s, like a group picture there, and you could see what looked like some kind of apparition in the photo.
That was actually from Chatham High School. Their reunion was at the Orleans Inn, and they took a picture. And when they found the picture, this is what was on the photograph.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, and I just kept looking at it, because it looked like a just like a. Hold on, I'm sorry. Somebody else is trying to call in too. If you're trying to call in, just give us just a minute. Once Tom gets off of here, you can call in. So what is your experience with the Orleans Inn?
Well, I literally grew up. The Orleans Inn is on a body of water called the Town Cove.
Okay.
And I used to swim from my house across the water to the Orleans Inn, but right next to there was a Dairy Queen. So we would go and get ice cream or whatever and then swim back.
Right.
So you would, I grew up looking at it like every day. And so I hadn't heard about the stories of the Orleans Inn until I was an adult. But what I did know was that every once in a while, in the cupola up in the top of the building, every once in a while there would be a light on.
Okay.
There was no light there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, oh, yeah. There was, and the story goes, and a lot of people. There's been a lot of people who have actually been through the things that have happened in this building, most people who work there have either seen or heard or felt different things. And I've known a few of the people that work there.
Really?
Yeah. In the 1900s, it was a brothel.
Okay.
And there was a woman that worked at the brothel that was murdered. And she's what they considered was the apparition that they saw. There's been people who worked there or who owned the inn at the time who would like sleep in the building while the inn was occupied. And one night he saw a nude woman coming at him and just disappeared.
Wow.
Which is really kind of cool. Yeah. There were two other people who died in the inn. One of them worked there as like a cook, and the other person hung himself from the stairs coming down from the cupola.
Good night.
Yeah. It's been it's full of different stories where people said, for no reason they felt this intense cold coming through the building. So like huge cold gusts of air, doors slamming all the time, silverware being, thrown on the ground.
Huh.
Just anything you can hear. This is what's happened in this building.
That is so freaky. And do people well, let me ask you this, from your perspective, when you were a kid and you knew these things about this building.
I didn't know until I was in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it wasn't something that everybody talked about. But once things started happening, new owners came in, they did some research, they're like, what in the world is happening?
Right.
This is when, and somebody actually wrote a book about it. And that's when I found more information out about it. There'd always been stories, but it was like, there's so many stories around on the Cape and in New England about different haunted places.
Sure.
It's like some of them are stories and some of them are more valid, and this one seems to be pretty valid.
Wow.
Yeah.
There is a lot of dark history in the Northeast.
Oh yeah.
And that
there's in Orleans, we used to have and this is just again stories from my parents and grandparents that during the World War II, the German soldiers that were on submarines would come in and go to the movies in Orleans.
Really?
Yeah. And, they wouldn't talk much because, it'd give them away. But,
right.
Yeah, this is how. So there's quite a few stories about, we had the French Cable Museum that's right in town as well.
Right.
And the cable went right from Orleans right to France.
Huh.
So
wow.
There's a lot of history in Orleans.
Wow. There really is. And I was reading when I was doing my research on this, I saw that it looked like the ghost what are they called? They're like Mythbusters for the ghosts.
Oh yeah.
They went out there, but I didn't get that far. I don't know if they were able to document anything or if they, found anything in this hotel.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remembered all the stories from friends of mine who would say, yeah, every time we turned around, there would be slamming doors and, every once in a while you feel this cold brush of air coming through. And so, but anybody specifically who saw the apparitions, other than the picture that was taken was, again, during a class reunion.
Huh. Yeah, that was a pretty intense photo. I mean, like, but they all seemed happy, like nobody like seemed like disturbed or anything. But there was obviously something there in that photo, and it was pretty direct. Like when I saw the link that was like, oh, look at, see the photo of the apparition that got caught in the, in that this photographer caught on his camera. I was like, all right, I'm gonna see some weird little orb in the upper right hand corner that's barely there, you know. But then I saw this photo and I was like, oh my God, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I can actually, if I can find the book, I have the book somewhere in my house, but if I will either get you a copy and send it off and that you can read more about it. But yeah, it's pretty amazing because I do remember saying, who the hell is turning the lights on in the cupola?
Right. What? And then you're like, what lights?
and yeah, people were like, there are no lights in the cupola.
That is so strange. Oh man. And I mean, but you never got any weird feelings or anything about it when you were a kid walking past it?
No, not outside. I did. I've been in there, and a lot of times, like the basement of the inn sits out on the water,
mm-hmm.
And there's a dance floor and a bar, and so that's where we would mostly be. Upstairs is the restaurant, and they had all sorts of Irish folk music and things like that would play. And I myself never saw or heard anything, but I've had enough people tell me the stories and people that wouldn't be like, oh geez, this is a big story, know? And that's why I was like, when I called the last time, it was more about my family stuff. This is more about the town that I grew up in and kind of the stories and the people that people I grew up with and people I graduated high school with had these stories.
Yeah. Did you is the inn still open and active?
Oh yeah, and every the newest owner has done a really good job of recreating the space so that it's historically correct and that it's still a working inn. There's not a lot of rooms that people can stay in, but it's more of a restaurant with a bar downstairs with like a dance floor. A lot of wedding receptions happen.
I see. So the people that are renting the rooms are probably like looking for a thrill. Is probably why they're there.
They're looking for a thrill, or they're part of like a wedding party, or but there's not a lot of rooms that. I think there's only like 10 rooms in the inn that you can rent at any time. The restaurant is much more known for what it's always been a place since I've been a little kid where you go and get a good dinner, Right.
So. Okay. Well, man, that is creepy. That is super creepy. I mean, that did freak me out a little bit. I love hearing stories about old haunted places, especially if you can still go into them. And it's,
oh God, yeah. And it's something that like the people who own it, they're like, what in the world's happening? And it's never what I think people would say malicious stuff that happens, although all three tragedies were, one was a suicide and two were murders, and they actually caught the guy who murdered the woman that was in the brothel.
Oh wow. And wow, that's crazy. Well, at least somebody got caught for some of this stuff. So
Yeah. But no, it's Orleanton, it's been a fixture in my life since I was a baby.
Wow.
because it, like, we literally lived right across the water from it.
Right.
And so
You've seen it your whole life.
it's actually a fairly comforting thing. I've painted it. I've actually done T-shirts with it on it.
Wow.
Everything. So yeah.
That's wild. And we know you're a great artist because of the stuff you sent. It was so beautiful. Yeah, man, so that's weird. This haunted hotel, if you will, has been a mainstay and even an inspiration, a muse at times for you.
Right, exactly.
That's wild.
And little did I know, like when I was growing up, it wasn't anything they talked about.
Yeah.
You know, people didn't talk about things like this when I was young.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of kept it away from you. So.
Well, you know, it's like one. There's many stories about different places, but you didn't really talk about it because there were so many.
Right. It was one of a dozen nearby. Yeah.
This one was one that really, when I started reading it and hearing about it and talking to people who work there and people who spend a lot of time in there, I'm like, oh my God, you know, listening to somebody at a bar talking, and they're like, oh yeah, this was crazy. This happened to me on such and such a day.
Wow.
And they were like, yeah, this is no joke, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm going to assume it's real if you have so many people that are sharing similar experiences in the same place at different times,
Yeah, exactly.
you know. So, well, cool. Well, Tom, thank you so much for calling in and sharing that with us. I really appreciate it. That was insanely interesting. I love hearing about those kinds of places. Trunch Bowl for the win. You got it. Thanks, Tom. You have a great night. All right. Bye-bye. All right. So he's saying that there are like ghosts in this hotel. He said like one had like a naked lady coming at some guy, just disappeared. I'm like, you know, somebody asked for the naked lady room. You know that's a regular thing, by the way, right? So we've got Pennywise versus Krampus. Again, phone lines are still open, 512-937-2722. If you have your scary story, what happened to you? I want to know. And I saw Bean is here. Bean, thank you for joining us. One of our regulars, been around for a long time. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Don't worry about it. We all got to work, right? That's cool that you're an instructor at the college that you graduated from. That's very interesting. We got another caller. Thanks for calling Freak Me Out. Who am I talking to?
This is Buzz Rolls. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got one for you.
Okay.
It's a little bit more of a paranormal. I mean, I guess ghost stories are paranormal in general, but
sure.
This one is my sister.
Okay.
And she is a very highly regarded medium, psychic, if you will. She works for California Psychics. I myself am more of a logical guy and don't believe in any of that, but she has told me so many stories over all the years. It's too real to be untrue. So I kind of tend to believe her on some things.
Sure.
But you know, she's highly educated, PhD, all that. She's very reputable. Anyhow,
Wow.
She has a pug, a little small dog.
Sure.
And the pug got into an altercation with another dog and had one of his eyeballs scratched. And the eyeball went completely solid white and was damaged. They took him to the vet, did all that kind of stuff. The vet said, you know, it's shot. It's not going to come back. It's never going to heal. The dog's just going to have one eye. She was really sad about it.
Right.
So,
well, yeah.
About a month or so later, she decided to attend a seance out of town from where she lives. There was no one she knows. She just wanted to explore different mediums and do stuff. So she was sitting amongst all these people she'd never met, listening to all their stories. And then in the middle of the seance, the instructor of it instructed everyone to close their eyes, hold hands, think about what was troubling them, and then, you know, perhaps it be talked about. Well, my sister decided to think about her dog and how her dog's injured.
Mhm.
And in the middle of a quiet circle, not knowing a single person there, not knowing anything about my sister, the leader of the seance immediately interrupted the circle, opened her eyes, stared straight at my sister, and said, "Don't worry about your dog. It's going to be fine." The following morning, my
What?
sister woke up, and the following morning, my sister woke up, and the dog's eyes were perfect.
That's
Yeah.
freaky. Really?
How does that happen?
I don't know. That's giving me goosebumps though. That and you've seen the dog.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's insane. Like all of a sudden the dog's just healed.
Healed, like past medical professionals' opinion. Healed. Yeah.
But I, like when I hear that, like and I believe you, but I'm just saying, like, why a dog? You know, why isn't it like, you know, little Becky's leg, you know, grandma's gout, you know, it's the dog's eye,
Yeah.
you know?
It's crazy. And I mean, like I said, my sister did not know a single person in the circle. I've never spoke with anyone.
Huh.
There was no mention of her animals in any fashion. And
Wow.
that came to be. That's crazy.
That's intense. That is
Yeah.
that is intense. And Lauren, who's chatting here, says, yeah, it's crazy. That is crazy, man. And you said that you hear stories like this from her all the time.
All the time. She volunteers her time at the local hospital to help people transition with the loss of loved ones. So she tells me stuff all the time, and I want to believe it, but you know, again, I'm kind of, you know, I'm her brother, you know.
Right.
Whatever, I'm going to believe you, and I'm more logical, but it's just, she tells me too many things that are just, that they're just too real. It's just unbelievable.
That is very, yeah, that would be a little intense to, you know, because I mean, it's one thing if it's just like, you know, like one day the dog's eyes healed and it's like, oh, well, the vets were wrong, you know, but then for it to come about in that way, yeah, that's
the next day. Yeah.
That's too close. There's no way. Oh man, that is freaky. That is very cool, and that's interesting. That you know that she also you know like she's going to like seances and stuff, but then she also works with the grieving. Is that what you were saying essentially?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So she's around this a lot, but that's interesting. That's more of a life thing than a death thing, right? I mean, it's freaky, but yet it's like positive. You know, it's a positive outcome.
She has, in front of me and in front of my parents, has brought up things in my father's childhood that I've never heard about and he's never discussed, and like put my parents in a position of awe, like what how do you know that kind of stuff about siblings that we didn't even know about because they died at younger ages,
Right.
that kind of stuff. It's far out.
That is
crazy.
that is crazy. That's like and not crazy, right? But just wild. Some people have that ability. I don't. So when I hear about it, you're right. But I'm like you know, like it's like there's a level of skepticism, but when you are, you know, third party, but you know, you experience that with her, you go, maybe there's something to this that I just don't understand, you know?
Yeah, but how do you sell that to yourself? You know, yeah.
But maybe you don't have to. Maybe it just, you know what? Some things just are what they are. You know, we can't explain them. You know, but we know it was something. You know, something almost supernatural, otherworldly that happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's that, and that's all I'm saying is sometimes we just have to leave it at that, because I think you and I are very much alike in a I want to know. I need to know the details. I need to know the inner workings of this. I need I need a spreadsheet, a graph, and a total breakdown. for me to believe, but sometimes you're not going to find the metrics. Things just happen, and we can't explain it. So, but that's cool. And thank you so much for calling in. That was a great story. I appreciate that.
Thanks. And you're one of my favorites on TikTok. You're amazing, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's so nice. Thank you so much. You have a great night. All right.
Last video with your dad.
Dude, my dad is such a ham. I don't even know if he tried the drink, to be really honest with you. He he baby sipped that thing, and he's just like he was more worried and trying to like do the kissy lips and stuff on me and trying to throw me off my game, that he didn't even think to taste it and and really give an opinion. So when I went to ask him, he was like, oh yeah, apple.
Sure, if you say so.
Right. So now you see who I got my twisted sense of humor from. So but hey man, I really appreciate you. Thank you for following and hanging out with us tonight.
Keep doing what you're doing. We love you, buddy.
All right, brother. You have a great night. Thanks.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye. You guys are excuse me. My allergies have been getting me today. You guys are so awesome. I have an amazing community of people here. And like when I hear that, I don't even know how to respond to it. I've never been good at taking compliments, and I really, truly appreciate you guys. It was really nice and great story. I love that. And that's what this is all about, right? Is like our personal experiences. Like Tom had this creepy Orleans Inn that was right across the water from him, where he grew up his entire life. That's haunted. He called in with some stories from, I believe his father, or I think it was his father or grandfather, a couple weeks ago. But his family member should call in. I like that, Tom. Maybe he'll get her to call in next week and tell us. And yes, I know. And Proud Viking is an empath too. So he understands some of these things that to us are just, that they may seem like everyday normal activity to somebody who's an empath. But to me, I'm in awe of it. I want to know. And that's why these stories are so cool. Again, if you want to call in, you have a scary story, give me a call, 512-937-2722. And we're going to keep going with the villain showdown here, if you will. So let's get these likes up to 10,000. And we're going to vote right now. We're going to do a breakdown. Is it going to be Pennywise, or is it going to be Krampus that goes on to the next round? Okay. Pennywise or Krampus, go ahead and vote right now. Put up a 1 in the chat if you're going for Pennywise, a number 2 if you're going for Krampus, the evil Santa Claus. Which one is the scariest? Which one is the most villainous of these two villains? This is what we need to know. Pennywise number 1, Krampus number 2. Everybody that's in here, throw it up right now. We've got 1, Pennywise. Tim Curry's Pennywise, by the way, guys. Sorry, guys. Rosie's in the house. What's up? Some comments were filtered to protect the community's experience, it says. Okay. 1. We've got more people in this room. We've got more votes than that. Let's go. Pennywise is in the lead. Anybody for Krampus? Anybody at all? Anybody throwing a bone to Krampus down here? Krampus did make it to the second round after all. I'm going to go for another 5, 4, 3, 2. Lauren had a heart, said, I'll show some love to Krampus, but in the end, it was too little, too late. My first ghost night session. Miss Rebel Red, welcome. Krampus is out of there. Pennywise moves on. So, Rebel. Horror movie villain bracket. We've been doing this for a couple weeks now. Okay. Everybody at home picked who was going to be in this bracket. If you want to see the whole thing, because I have limited space here, I got another camera right here. you can go to YouTube, find me right here, Colombian Cracker. Same spelling, Craker, and you will get a much wider view of what's going on. Lauren said, damn it. Wanted Krampus. Krampus got 1 vote. It was Lauren. Pennywise, Tim Curry's Pennywise. Again, very specific. Tim Curry's Pennywise moves on to round 2. We've got 2 more on this side. Okay. We've got Annabelle. Okay. I am freaked out by dolls. You guys know this by now. Okay. Dolls freak me out. Porcelain dolls. Annabelle, not so much. She just looks too rough. I'd see her come around a mile away. Right. It's the pretty ones that sneak up on you. Okay. But Annabelle is formidable. Okay. But Annabelle has a really, really difficult matchup this week. Annabelle is taking on Mike Myers, and the music alone for Mike Myers may give him a leg up in a lot of ways. Dolls are freaky. It's the white porcelain ones with just maybe like 1 or 2 cracks right here, like with the little frilly dress. But can Annabelle take Mike Myers? This is the question. Annabelle is silly, but she technically is a demon that uses her body to mess with people. Right. And I never quite understood this concept. You are a demon. Like, I understood the story with Chucky, you know? When you watch Chucky, it was like a mistake, right? I mean, it wasn't supposed to happen. It was some, God, let's get that laugh going. That laugh, that was some murderer, right? That escaped prison or something and ended up in the body of Chucky. That wasn't meant to be. So you're talking about a demon that chose Annabelle. I mean, of all the things you choose this creepy little doll. I don't understand the thought process there. If you're a demon, I'm thinking that you got, maybe not. I mean, maybe there are stupid people. There's got to be stupid demons out there. And maybe this was just case in point, didn't really think through all of his options, but yet still horrifying. So, and then Mike Myers is still human. That's right. We got some Michael fans here, a lot of Michael fans. Last week, Mike Myers breezed through the competition to make it this far. And here's the thing, Lauren, could Michael Myers be possessed? A lot of people theorize that he already is. I mean, or he's not the part of his brain that empathy is gone, right? So he may not even be able to be possessed in that way. So I'm going to let you guys vote. Let's do that right now. We've got Mike Myers, number 1. Annabelle is number 2. Let's throw up the votes right now. Mike Myers, put up a 1. If you're voting for Annabelle, put up a 2. And don't just put the name. We're going 1, 2, 1 or 2. Mike Myers or Annabelle. We got quite a few people in here, enough to get quite a few votes. And he is. Oh, we got okay. Oh, here come the ones. Here come the Mike Myers fans. All right. Keep going. We've got 2. No, we've only got 1 for Annabelle so far. 1 with an exclamation point from Zing. Okay. All right. Tom Quinn's going 1. Bean's going 1. Rosie's going 1. Prater Kyle 42 is going 1. White Tornado and Proud Viking, if I missed you, I'm sorry. And Karen comes in with a 1. What do you think? I think he won. I think Mike Myers moves on. I think that's how it's going down. So Mike Myers for the win, and he's moving on to next week. Again, we're doing each round every week. We're going to have to spread out the rounds coming up in the next couple of weeks so we can make it all the way to Halloween. Because after tonight, we're only going to have 6 teams. And I screwed that up. I got to figure out how we're going to match these up with 6 teams left. Proud Viking with the football. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, that was quick, right? That was very quick. And again, if you have a scary story, 512-937-2722. I want to hear your personal ghost story. Freak us out. I want to hear it. I'm going to tell this story real quick. We've got kind of a small group here. As we get closer to Halloween, I'll probably retell this, but this is something that has happened to me. And I'll kind of probably tell like the shorter version now, but this was something that happened to me when I was in high school. I was probably around 16, maybe. Yeah, I'd have to. It would have to be because of this house we moved into. So this house was special. My parents got it for a song, right? And I swear to this day, there were bullet holes in the garage door. Now, it was an old garage door. Some of you guys, Tom, you may remember this. Garage doors used to have this handle at the bottom, and they wouldn't roll up; they would swing up, and it was just one solid piece that would come up and fold up and hold up there. Ooh, we have a family ghost. I want to hear that story. Tell me the family ghost story. Call me 512-937-2722. So there were bullet holes. I swear to God, there were bullet holes. And they were like, oh, no, they're not bullet holes. I'm like, those are bullet holes. The layout of this house was very interesting. It wasn't a very big house, but it did have 3 bedrooms and it did have a basement because it's the Midwest, right? We're talking Kansas City here. A small living room and a dining room. And that was right when you come in the front door. Just to the right was you kind of had your living room area there and like a dining room area back here. And right behind the dining room was a bedroom, and it was a good sized bedroom. And they had the old locks, and they actually had a skeleton key for all those old locks in this small house. Bedroom in the back, and that bedroom had a door that went into the next bedroom, and that was the master back there in the back corner. And then that master had another door that went to a third bedroom that led out into the living room. The only way to get to that back bedroom was to go through the other bedrooms. It was just one big circle, one chain of rooms. They weren't split up by a hallway. I had the back bedroom, and it was locked between that bedroom and my parents' bedroom. Old skeleton key. Only my dad had that key. We never used it. It was like in a drawer somewhere. So they would go through the other one because I was an only child. So they used that other room on the opposite side, like a big closet essentially, and then would go back to their room. So when he was gone, because there was a back door, he would lock all those doors connecting those rooms because they were, we didn't live in the greatest part of town. So if somebody got in that back room, he didn't want them being able to get in other parts of the house. Long story short, all of these rooms are locked at the, and this was maybe a year after we moved in. We had just finished the basement, and my brother, who used to live in that basement, he was just a few years older. That was his room. He had left, and I had moved my stuff into that room. I was, high school now. I got my own little floor down there, even though it was a very old, small house. But they did put up some walls. It was nice down there. And I'm down there playing video games one fall night actually, and it was really weird. We had heard some bumps and some things, but we just kind of played it off. Well, if you've ever been in a basement, you can tell when somebody comes in the house, like right away. You can hear the door open. You can hear the footsteps, along the ceiling. And that's what I heard. I heard the front door open and close, and I heard footsteps come across the floor. And then I was like, oh, Mom and Dad's home. Thank you. 10,000. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much. So I hear the footsteps, right? Just normal footsteps above me. My parents are home, right? So I go upstairs thinking, hey, maybe they brought home some food, what have you. Say hi to my parents again, mid-teens. When I get up there, there's nobody there. I mean, like the lights are off, everything. It's pitch black. And I'm like, that is so weird. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they came in and got something and left. I'm a latchkey kid. They never checked on me, right? So maybe they did. Maybe they just grabbed something off the table and left again. I don't know. Don't think too much of it. Just that it's a little weird. Go back downstairs, playing my Nintendo. And then after that, maybe about 5 minutes after that, I hear the front door open again. Oh, they're back. I hear the footsteps. Okay. I hear the footsteps go a little bit further and they go back into the back bedrooms. And then I hear the front door close and I'm like, what's going on? And I go upstairs. There is nobody. There is literally nobody in the house at all. So I'm starting to freak out a little bit. And so I do what any normal red-blooded thinking American would do, and that is I go back to the basement. Right? Obviously, that's maybe the creepiest place you could go. But again, we got the lights on. Jason knows what I'm talking about. That's my cousin. He knows what I'm talking about. So I hear again, a few minutes later, here comes the door opening, and I hear more of like running. And I'm like, what is going on? I go upstairs. There is nobody there. And I am freaking out at this point. I have no idea what's going on. Here's where it really freaked me out. Again, I told you that setup of how the house was, room to room to room. There was no main hall. Those rooms were all connected by doors that were locked. And the front door is locked, by the way. I have checked it multiple times at this point. Jesus Nightlight, Rosie, there you go. That's right. Rosie's getting freaked out, as you should be, because this freaked me out. So go back downstairs. And again, after a few minutes, this time the front door just sounds like it gets blown open, right? Something runs across the living room, goes through the door that is locked, by the way, and you can hear it open and close. Through the next room, open and close. I mean, like sprinting. Next room, open and close. Back out through the front door. I heard every single door open and close and feet running through that house. I am freaking out right now just telling you this story. Okay. I didn't know what to do. I did not go back upstairs at that point. I huddled. I found crosses. I made crosses. I did whatever I had to do. I blessed the Sprite I was drinking at the time, whatever I could. I didn't know what to do until I just waited for my parents to come home. They didn't believe me. But it scared you, right? Yes, it scared me to death. And please, people, throw up some Jesus Nightlights for me. I got to see. Because I'm scared. I'm scaring myself saying this story. Thank you for calling Freak Me Out. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Oh, I lost him. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Something happened. Please try back again. Please try back one more time. 512-937-2722. But that freaked me out. Jason, thank you. Jason is a subscriber. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. The Jesus Nightlight emoji only found here on Freak Me Out. And that was from Rosie's story, if you're new, about the demon or the devil that she saw looking at her Jesus Nightlight in the middle of the night. And that story scared the crap out of me. Again, if you want to try back, 512-937-2722. Tell me your story. Tell me your ghost story. I want to hear it. So here we go. Let's see if we can get this to work this time. Thanks for calling Freak Me Out. Who am I speaking with?
This is Neva, otherwise known as Mrs. Rebel Rat.
Hey, how are you?
Just peachy.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing great. After all this time, it is so nice to hear your voice.
Likewise.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you want to hear about the family ghost?
I do want to hear about the family ghost. I am intrigued that you have a family ghost.
I didn't know we had a family ghost until I talked to my grandmother. And it was, like I said, it was back when I was 11.
Okay.
In the 90s. My mom was back in Kansas for a high school reunion. I was at home in Arizona. I was in her bedroom watching TV, and she had a hanging touch lamp in her bedroom.
Okay.
So I had the light on and I had the TV on. All of a sudden, the light goes off. The only way to shut the light off is touching it.
Okay. So something touched the lamp, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, what the heck?
Right.
So then I stand on her bed, touch the lamp, turn it back on. While I'm doing that, the TV shuts off.
What?
I'm like, what's going on? So then I go turn the TV on. I'm laying there for a bit. Then the light starts going all 3 levels, and then it shuts off again.
Wow.
And so I call my grandmother, and I tell her what's going on. And she says, tell Charlie to knock it off.
What?
I'm like, what? Tell Charlie to knock it. I don't know anybody named Charlie. She says he's our family ghost. He picks one of the family members to follow around for a bit.
Really?
And it sounds like you guys are the ones he's following around right now.
Huh.
So as it's going on, I said, Charlie, knock it off. This is not funny.
Wow.
Everything stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
And then from then on, occasionally the stereo would turn on or a TV would turn off, and it would just do it once, like he was just messing around with us, like, I'm here.
Right. Just to let you know that he was around. That's so weird.
Yeah.
So where did the name Charlie come from?
I have no idea.
Okay. So
Because my grandmother never told us actually who Charlie was, but I know my grandmother's side of the family, she had 12 siblings.
Oh,
and
God.
I believe 2 of them died as infants.
Really? And so the thought process is maybe it's one of the kids playing around.
That's what we're thinking because of the things that it does.
Really? Okay, because it's childlike behavior, essentially.
Exactly.
Wow. And
It likes to play with the lights. It likes to play with the music and the TV.
and is Charlie still there?
He has not followed me around. He
No?
may still be with my mother because my mother's dog, she has a 2-year-old golden retriever that occasionally will just start barking at nothing.
Ah.
And when the dog comes to my house, she doesn't bark unless she's in the backyard barking at the neighbor dog. But inside the house, she doesn't bark.
Wow.
At my mother's house, she'll go all around the house and bark in every room.
Just following this kid around, huh? That's
Yeah.
wild. Rosie says that ghost kids are the scariest, and just in a lot of cases because we think kids are so innocent and we don't associate them with that. But in this case, it seems like Charlie's just mischievous, having a little fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
He likes to have that fun and play pranks.
Has there ever been anything like really big, or is it always just like lights and turning off the TV and the radio and stuff like that?
It's always been electrical.
Gotcha.
It's never been anything malicious. It's never been like you had the door slamming or
Right.
footsteps. It's always been electrical.
That's crazy. That is cool. Yeah, that does freak me out. Well, besides that, how are you feeling about our Chiefs right now?
I'm going to do what all the rest of them are doing. I'm blaming myself for the loss because that was the one game I didn't watch.
That was it. Yeah, and I didn't get to watch either. I made assumptions that we were going to win.
I was able to watch last week, the week before. I missed the beginning because I was at work, and then I came home and I watched the end, and that's when they pulled it out.
That's when they pulled it out.
It's my fault. I didn't watch it.
All right, you and I were not allowed to miss
What I
any
did
more
for
games.
working on a Sunday.
Yes, ma'am. No more working. No more working. Oh,
Hey,
man.
you want to check your pet into a hotel? No, can't do it today.
Nope. Not on Sundays. That's Chiefs time. So,
Yeah, and I'm a leader of a team, and I've got people on my team that are Raiders fans. I've got Steelers fans. I'm like, I'm sorry,
sorry.
but I still love you as a person.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we can still be friends, just not on Sundays. That's just yeah. It's only the Christian way to be.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for calling in.
I love you, but I don't like you right now.
Right.
I would say don't like your team right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right. We'll be okay. We'll be fine. Hey, thanks for calling. I really love talking to you. We'll have to get you back on the show sometime soon.
All right. Perfect.
All right. You have
Y'all have fun.
Yeah, you too. Have a great night. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I had to talk Chiefs. I'm sorry. I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm sorry to do that to you. Let's see. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. It's I got the camera a little further away. They play pranks. I don't even like pranks. You don't even like when real kids do live pranks. So why would you like that? I think it's kind of cool though, and who knows what was going on there, but grandma knew what was up with that little kid. See, Jason, what is wrong with you? Why would you? Okay, we found it. We figured it out. Rebel, it is not your fault. It's Jason's fault. That man hasn't taken that hat, that Arthur Bryant's hat off in like 20 years. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. So I know we usually don't talk a lot of sports, but Rebel Red's been with us for a long time. And she's been here. She was watching all the Chiefs games with us last year. I finally got a chance to get her on the phone. I had to say something. So I was at the lake. I was in the pool. Excuses, sir. To the Colts? Really? Okay. We're moving on. We have two teams moving on already. Pennywise has beat out Krampus. And again, if you want to call, now, maybe I am a little psychic. Maybe I am. Thanks for calling Freak Me Out. Who am I speaking with?
Brown, how's it going, Chris?
Hey, it's going great. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I have a couple of stories for you, but before I get on with that, I'm not good at expressing gratitude, so I just want to say thank you for who you are, what you do. I started TikTok a few months ago, and Lauren actually introduced me to it, and I found a lot of YouTubers, a lot of friends on there, and no joke, I went to a home for you page, and you were the first one I saw.
Really?
And I was doing your weird videos, and I was like, okay, this seems like a funny kind of guy. So I started following more and more, and I want to say thank you for cheering us up, brightening our days, making it so much better, taking the time to listen, just showing your care all around. It means a lot to us, and I just want to say thank you.
You are very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
And I don't know how long I can subscribe because Lauren's still out of work.
Oh, no.
But I'll do what I can. So.
Oh, well, I appreciate you doing that. You didn't have to do that, but I do appreciate it. So while you got it, use your Jesus Nightlights, right?
But yeah, I'm talking more on saying gifts because I have an idea for a shirt for you, and I just got to get them make it. I don't know if it would be something you would like or not.
You never know. I never know. Yeah, send me an email or something. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, the shirt I kind of have in mind is kind of going to show all the kind of ideas we got, some more Pumpkinhead, all of them at the front, and you could be like the crypt keeper telling stories, and on the back, whoever wins could be the winner and say like the monster match, but have like a glow in the dark and spooky theme to it.
That's cool. That is very cool. That is kind of like what we're doing here. I do need to get a new kind of setup for some stuff, because people have been asking for the Freak Me Out logos and stuff. So I guess that's the next thing on the agenda. Like I said, I didn't realize I'd be doing this much stuff with social media.
talking on the phone, so if I seem out, I do apologize. It's something before. I usually text you, not so much on the phone, so I'm a little nervous.
No, you're perfectly fine. While I've got you here, did you have a spooky story, or did you want to talk about your empath ability?
Well, impactful abilities, I can wait till another time because there's quite a few of them, and I don't want to take too much of your time because there are a lot. Some are kind of with family, some are with friends, some are just things I've witnessed. But the scary stories, one has to do with Lauren, one has to do with me, and where we live. Where we live is an apartment complex, but before that, it was like an old hotel, but then went to a nursing home, now apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
And I could always sense that there were ghosts around, and I just thought of a name. Don't know how, just came in my head, and ever since then, it seems like it's been kind of following around. Well, one night, I thought I heard a voice calling my name, like, "Hey, you didn't come to bed yet." And it sounded like Lauren's voice, and everything like that. I was out in the living room playing on my PlayStation 4, just ignoring it, and then I'm like, well, maybe I'll go to bed. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sure.
And I'm like, wait a minute, she's at work. I'm like,
That's kind of like how I was thinking too, because like I didn't think too much about it. I'm into my video game. It's like I hear a noise. It's just pretty normal and then once you get off the game, that's when you realize something's not right.
yeah, and Lauren had a similar experience. I was at work, but I sent her a text and I was headed home, and she was asleep because she works 11:30 at night till 7:30 in the morning. I work days.
Right.
So she was sleeping, and I sent her a text like, hey, slow down work, I'm coming home. And at the time we had a cat, and she closed the bedroom door shut and our front door, everything. And then she wakes up and turns over. Cat has his ears pulled back, eyes wide open, freaking out. Lauren didn't feel alone. Looked up. Door was wide open. Not like a little bit, but completely wide open.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't even at home. I was still at work.
So do you guys do you feel like there was something in this building or in your apartment there?
I'm pretty sure the whole apartment complex, because I hear creaks every now and then. I think I hear voices. And there's times where I thought I heard neighbors knock the next door, like yelling or screaming or whatever, TV going on. And I went to go talk to the landlord. They're like, that place is empty. No one lives there.
What? Really? So, and there wasn't.
So, I don't know.
That's weird. That is weird. Well, like we were talking about earlier, like entities, energy, whatever, maybe there was something there. I mean, especially if you guys are both experiencing it at different times, but having similar instances, then that's a little too close to home for me. That's just me.
Yeah. And when it comes to empath, I can mostly feel things, not so much see them. Like, I've had actually a feeling where I felt a physical kind of pain or whatever, and someone comes to my mind, and I call them up, like, hey, are you okay? Has this feeling up for you? Like, I just felt that. How did you know?
Right.
Or someone asked me about a couple of different people I've never met. How do you feel about this person? Or do you know anything about this person? Just kind of guess it. Like, I'm guessing they like this kind of music. I'm guessing this is the kind of person. Spot on every single time. And the people go, well, I'm going to go do this. Like, I wouldn't do this. I have a feeling this is going to happen. And it happens. So I try to warn people. It's a blessing and a curse, but no one wants to listen sometimes.
Yeah, no. And it's hard to. It really is, and like we were talking about it earlier, like, caller, was talking about his sister being an empath, and that he didn't really believe in it, but some of the things he's seen through her, it's kind of hard. You can't just let it go. You can't just blow it off as, because I don't understand it, that it's not real,
I mean, that could be true for anything. I mean, you can look at the air. You can't see it. You can smell it. You can feel it. It's there. I mean, like aliens. I don't think we're alone. There's no way out of infinite galaxies we're the only species out there. There's just no way.
That's a very bold statement to be able to say that in all of the worlds in all the universe. We are the only life out there, you know.
I mean, there's an old saying: either we are alone in this universe, or we're not, and both are equally terrifying.
I like that. And that actually, wow, that kind of hit home there for a second. Both are equally terrifying. You're right. That would be kind of terrifying if we were actually alone. I don't know.
And if there is are we more intelligent? I mean, there's an old theory that the whole destruction of dinosaurs was a comet. Some people are like, well, maybe it was the alien spaceship crashed to the Earth and we're the aliens. I don't know. And I saw a thing on the news 2 weeks ago, someone made a comment saying that on 1969, aliens landed on the moon. And you think about it, what? We don't know what's about aliens. We're thinking, oh, wait, us, we're not native inhabitants to the moon. So are we the aliens?
We could be. I've heard that theory. And we might have to do an alien night because we could talk about some alien movies. We could talk about, you know, Close Encounters, because that's another thing that people have a lot of experiences having, is maybe not ghosts, but they saw aliens. So
I personally have not seen aliens. I've seen other things, but doesn't mean I don't believe in it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what we were saying. Like, just because you can't see it, you can't understand it, doesn't mean that it's not real. So
yeah.
But well, cool. Well, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your experiences with us. Maybe we can get to pick your brain again sometime soon.
Oh, I look forward to it. And we were talking about Trunchbull or Freddy, or not Jason, and then like a Krampus. Sorry, I can't talk. It's Krampus versus Trunchbull.
No, it's Creeper. It's Creeper versus Trunchbull tonight.
Oh, okay, Creeper. Okay, well, I'm kind of thinking a little more Trunchbull. I know people are going to probably hate me for it, but Creeper is predictable. They know what he's going to do. When we're seeing Trunchbull, she can get nasty using whatever she can get her hands on. She's very
Trunchbull fans, man.
Well-oriented.
Yes, sir. That's awesome. I love it. Well, we know you're voting for Ms. Trunchbull tonight, and we're going to get there tonight as well. So, but Viking, thank you so much. Thanks for calling in, man. And thank you for all your kind words. I really appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you for what you do. I really appreciate what you guys do, too.
All right, brother. You guys have a great night. We'll see. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye. So again, you know, apparition, maybe not seen, but heard in the house. And sometimes that's scarier. Do you ever notice that some of the scariest movies that you've ever seen, you never actually see what it is? You know, you never actually see the monster. It's the suspense of the monster. Alfred Hitchcock made an entire career off of that. And Rosie says, I agree. There's no way we're alone. Our souls are real. And I believe in aliens, ghosts, dimensions. Why not? Why aren't all of these things real? I think it's just recently that the masses in general are starting to accept these things a little more commonly. But the thing is that what are they? Where are they coming from? I don't know. I had this theory at one point, even that. So this is very strange, and it's kind of a hard concept even for myself. I don't even know where this came from, but I was listening to this podcast, and they were talking to this PhD, and they were talking about different dimensions, right? So essentially the way he was saying it was that since the Big Bang, it essentially has a ripple effect. So like it was time on top of time on top of time. So we have almost the same time stream happening just on repeat over and over and over and over again. And it's like keys, ding, 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 you know, just like one after another after that explosion. So essentially I'm living this life and I'm doing this exact same thing in a billion infinite like dimensions, right? But they are all like a fraction of a millisecond behind one another. And it made me think that maybe this is where we're seeing these ghosts, why we're seeing these things. These things are, time is overlapping. And it freaked me out one night. I was talking to my wife and this realization came to me. We were watching this story, this creepy story on TV that was supposedly true about this hotel where this woman was brutally murdered and stabbed. And that every like year at this certain time, if you were in this room, you could hear it, and you could sometimes feel like the bed moving and things like that. And it was like, what was that room, like 1946? Remember that movie? Like, just super creepy. I mean, like, they had the room blocked off. It got too terrifying for people to go into this room because it was so intense. And they said the energy was intense, and any psychic that came into the building would walk right back out. They said, no way, I'm staying away from this room. I'm staying away from this building. And what got me thinking was that guy talking about that and that ripple effect, and that maybe they kind of overlap. And I'm thinking, what if that's not really just a like a ghost? Maybe it's the echo, and they're hearing the echo, and this woman is consistently just in real time being murdered over and over and over again in each different timeline dimension, one after another. And that one area, that one room in that one building just tends to hone in on that. And so she is essentially being murdered repeatedly over and over and over again throughout eternity. And I couldn't sleep for like 2 days after my brain came up with that insane monstrosity of a theory. Because when I thought about it, the more and more I thought about it, the more I thought that might not be far off. So I don't know. What do you think about that? I don't remember what the podcast. I can't remember if it was a podcast or if it might have been George Norrie. It may have very easily have been George Norrie. And he goes on at like midnight every night on like local AM stations, but he's actually the most listened to radio show in the world, which is very odd. The Stanley Hotel, 1408 is what it was. Oh, thank you. Yes, please send the email. I want to see it. I really want to see it. I try to stay away from like already used like things like the Crypt Keeper though, because I don't want to infringe on somebody else's copyright. That's the only thing that I could think of. Haunted hotels in Arizona. I'm telling you, these places are all over. Jerome Grand. And so like earlier, I don't think you were here, Rebel. Tom Quinn, you know Tom, he's been a follower for a long time. Tom was telling us about the Orleans Hotel. You should look it up. They have a picture that a photographer took at, I believe it was a high school reunion, and they were just taking a picture with friends, you know, these guys in their 40s, and there is something in that picture, and it legit looks like some kind of ghostly apparition going across the screen. The article I read was, I believe, the Boston Globe. But if you just Google it, Orleans Hotel, all kinds of stuff pops up. One of the most, I missed that. I'm trying to keep up. I'm sorry. I live next to one of the most haunted towns in the world. Has a hospital that's closed for 2. That's crazy. When you got to close the hospital, you know you got problems, right? Broncos fans in the house. What's up? You're welcome. There's a movie like that in the 80s. I don't know. So weird. Can I call Meow? Write Meow. No, you're good. 512-937-2722. Please, I want to hear your scary story. The Beast was ranked the top 5 haunted house again this year. I'm telling you, the Beast, the haunted houses in Kansas City are sick. They're insane. Go check them out. I reached out to the haunted houses here in Austin. They won't let me go through with a camera. I really wanted to go through and do a live. You're in fact taking your child to a haunted town for trick-or-treating. I love it. I love it. I was around so much haunted stuff, and I feel like I'm reasonably, level individual. I mean, I am on TikTok eating weird foods and doing a ghost story show. So I'm going to let you guys decide on that one. Okay. But okay. So let's see what we got. Thanks for calling Freak Me Out. Is this Rosie?
Yes, this is Rosie.
Hey, Rosie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Ashley has passed out. She had a long day, but I'm having fun. So what's
I think she was passed out last week too.
Well, she is. Well, on Wednesdays for about for 10 weeks, she has to do clinicals for her nursing school, and it's 14 hour, 1 day a week, 14 hours every Wednesday. So she got up at 4 this morning, and I don't know, she got home probably around 8 o'clock, and she did not last long. So yeah. So what's going on with you today?
I've been working as always, but I'm going to try and do this story super quick because I know it's getting kind of late already.
Okay. So what's the story?
Okay. So have you ever heard of a skinwalker?
I've heard the concept of a skinwalker, and this is tell me what a skinwalker is. Remind me.
Okay, so it's more of a Native American like horror creature.
Right.
There's like different versions of it, but it's basically like a person who has the ability to change shape into animals, and they're usually not like cute furry animals. They're usually like really dark, scary, like abstract animals.
Okay, so but
I'm putting it super simply.
okay. So a darker creature, like they're not turning into the pug we heard about earlier.
No,
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I was in high school, and I used to change high schools a lot because my parents were like in the middle of a divorce, and so I just started at this new school, and I made a friend who also was new at this school, and we were sophomores in high school. Her name was Carissa, and she had just moved to Albuquerque from a reservation that was about 2 hours away.
Okay.
Me and her got super, super close. We ended up being really good friends. And one weekend, my mom gave me permission to drive her to her reservation, which, like I said, is about 2 hours away.
Oh, wow.
I was super excited because, yeah, like this was like an unsupervised
Road trip
that we could have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, full disclosure, we smoked weed.
Okay. All right. So it really was a road trip. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're getting the picture. Okay.
I used to have this like beat up little old Volvo, and the sunroof on it was broken. So like the glass was covered, but like the like fabric shade wouldn't open or close. It was permanently open, like it wouldn't close.
Okay.
So we were driving to her reservation, and I remember we were super stoned. I just want to say that just for the fact that, like, I don't know if this was like exactly, this is how I remember it, but I don't know if it was true or if it was because we were super high or what.
Right.
We were, the road to get to the reservation, because the reservations out here, they're really poor and the roads aren't lit. They're very long stretches of road. And like I said, we're in the desert, so there's like miles and miles and miles of like nothingness. And we were driving on this 2-lane highway, and we passed this like homeless person, and they had like a blanket over their head. It was kind of chilly, and they had like a blanket over their head. And me and Carissa were talking, and I was like, "Should I stop?" And she's like, "No, don't stop. That's a hitchhiker. Don't stop." And I was like, "Okay." So we kept driving, and I swear we passed the hitchhiker again like 5 or 6 minutes later.
Really?
And yeah, and I was like super freaked out, and I was like, "Was that the same one?" And she's like, "No, that's impossible." And I was like, no, I think it was the same one. And it scared me so much that like I started slowing down. I didn't stop, but I started slowing down. And I was like, "No, Chris, I think that was the same one." And I could see them in my rearview mirror, and they just started like sprinting towards the car.
What?
We're two teenage girls, so we are screaming. We're terrified. I hit the gas, and I'm flooring the gas, and she's like, "Drive!" And we're hitting like 70 miles an hour, and I swear this person is still running behind us, and they are keeping up with my car, going 70 miles an hour on this pitch black 2-lane highway. And all of a sudden, I look in the rearview mirror, and they're gone. And me and her are panicking, and we're like hyperventilating. And then all of a sudden, I just hear this huge smack right on my sunroof. And me and her are screaming, and we start swerving on the road, and we like get into the dirt, and then we just get out of the dirt. We don't even like stop to breathe. We just keep driving, and we drive all the way to her house. And once we get to like her neighborhood, like there's like some lights, like street lights.
Right.
There's not a lot, but there are a few street lights. And when we get under the street light, you could see on the top of the sunroof that there's a huge handprint on the top of my sunroof. And that handprint stayed on my sunroof for years. Like it was real. There was a handprint on there that definitely was not mine.
Oh my God. Did you try to like clean it off?
No, because I never cleaned my car.
What? That would freak me out though. Like every time getting in the car and looking up and seeing this handprint, you know?
Yeah, and then like it was like kind of, I'm guessing kind of like oily or something, because like it got to the point where like dirt had like stuck to it. So like it was there. Like there was like a dirty handprint like on my sunroof for like a good 2 years.
Oh my God. Rosie, are you Native American?
No, I'm Mexican.
Okay.
There's like a huge Native population out here.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I was wondering was, you know, if this is something that's common around there. Do other people have other people shared similar experiences with you?
Oh my God, yeah. Like I personally am not Mexican, but like Native in my family, because like some of my aunts and uncles married Native people, so my cousins are half Native and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, this is stuff I grew up listening to.
Wow. And is this like, and I mean, I knew that it was, you know, it was more of a Native American boogeyman kind of scenario. But I guess I'd never heard of it. Explain the way that you have. And do people talk about knowing people that are skinwalkers?
I've gone to, like I said, I do have cousins and friends who are like Native, so I've gone to like their houses on the reservation, and like their family members have told me that they've like seen people, or that they suspect people around the neighborhood might be. But like specifically like someone who personally knows somebody, I don't think so. Gotcha.
Well, I'm sure if you were one, you probably wouldn't want to make it public knowledge, right?
No, yeah, it's a curse. It's not a good thing to see.
Right. Linkish is saying that that they have skinwalkers that I'm sure pass my house, is what Linkish says. So yeah. And Linkish said, I feel Rosie lives near me. So, but
oh man, I'm like shaking thinking about it. I haven't thought about that story in a long time.
I know.
Me and her talked about it for like weeks, and we were trying to tell everyone at school, and everyone was like, "You're lying," and I was like, "No, look at the handprint. Come look at the handprint."
And you're like, yeah, I bet you were like, look, and you put your hand up there, like that is not my hand. I do not have a hand that big. Man, that would freak me out.
Everyone was like, "It was just because you were smoking weed," and I was like, "Weed doesn't do that to you."
Right? You're like, I was sober as soon as this happened. I sobered up.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you know, and it's like funny hearing you say that you're like scaring yourself telling it, because like when I was telling my story about what happened, you know, in my house in high school, I was starting to freak myself out telling that. I'm here pitch black in my house with green, you know, green lights going, and I got my little skull buddy here, and it isn't helping, you know, it's just scaring me more. So, oh, but that is a great story. Are you still in contact with that friend?
No, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I have her on Facebook, but we don't talk as much as we used to.
Yeah, you should reach out to her. Maybe this is your sign to reach out to her and be like, "Hey, buddy, old pal, remember the time that we almost got taken down by a skinwalker driving out to, you know?" I can almost see that, because I see your face or your TikToks. I see the tears just running down your eyes, just freaked out, driving like we need to get back. So you drove 2 hours. Did you drive back that night?
No, I stayed up there for the weekend, and then we drove back to the city. So we did go to school on Monday.
Okay.
We drove in the day. We drove Sunday in the morning.
Yeah.
We're not driving down that road at night.
I would never drive down that road at night ever again. Oh man, I might try to go the opposite way and go around if I could. Oh man.
Try to take a 6-hour drive around.
Yeah. I mean, what's the alternative? You know, I mean, it's kind of like, Kind of like, when you have like a nightmare, you try to, stay up for a few minutes, then go back to sleep. As soon as you close your eyes, the boogeyman's right there, waiting for you again. That's kind of how I would feel driving down this road,
Oh yeah, yeah. And we drive down this road to go to Las Vegas, Nevada. We drive to Vegas like once or twice a year, and every time I drive down that road, I'm like, ah.
But she said, I'm gonna make it because I like to play slot machines, so it's happening. I'm getting to Vegas. Rosie, you are awesome. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing that story with us. That really did freak me out. That's the whole point of this show. Freak me out, and you got me.
No, thank you for having the show. I love it. You're literally the only TikToker that I watch live regularly.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully we're going to get some more people coming in, and we'll just keep collecting stories. And I don't know if you heard me, but I'm simulcasting right now. I'm over on YouTube too, so you can actually see the board if you want to see the board. So so hopefully we'll start getting some more people and get even more calls, and we'll get some more from you and hear more of your Skinwalker tales.
Right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. Bye. Rosie's called in before, and she's got some intense stories, man. Like some really, really intense. And see, Linkish, well, that road to Vegas is near me. So there you go. Maybe it's the same one. Don't open your doors. If you see these things walking by, just not that I think you are now. It is a little ridiculous to say that out loud, but you know what I mean. No, I love the Crypt Keeper idea. I'm a huge fan of the Crypt Keeper. I would stay up late. I would sneak up late when I was like in elementary school to watch some creepy stuff, including especially the Crypt Keeper. But the one that got me scared of the dolls was a show called Friday the 13th, the series. I really shouldn't have been watching it, but I did. And now I'm scared of porcelain dolls to this day. I'm a grown man, and I can't be in a room with a porcelain doll. So, hey, if you guys are just joining us and you want to check us out or give us a call with your scary story, 512-937-2722. What goes bump in the night in your house? So this is a big one. This is a big one, guys. I'm telling you. Where is he? We have Kathy Bates. Now, Kathy Bates, not so much like a horrifying villain, but scary as hell, right? Shout out to New Mexico if you do live near me. There you go. My Ring doorbell has got some pretty creepy things floating in front of the yard. See, that's weird. That is so crazy. And I think, wasn't it Viking that called in saying about, like, he called in a couple weeks ago and was talking about a story when he was like a kid. He was at a friend's house, and there was like this like demon on the front lawn just screaming, and they were like, oh yeah, that's dad, or that's grandpa. And like his friends just like, oh yeah, that's grandpa. He's my personal demon. He hangs out there. He just screams in flames every night. And it just freaked him out. I mean, obviously it freaks you out if you see somebody's dead grandpa on the lawn screaming at the top of their lungs, right? But again, it's just like, you just end up seeing, it's weird stuff that you can't explain. But I don't know. Just a lot of weird stuff. And imagine if your Ring doorbell caught grandpa, right? Just in flames in the front yard, just screaming. I would pay good money to see that video. I really would. It's Seth Rogen. I will tell you that. Miss Fearless, it's Seth Rogen. I get it every day of my life. If you look at the profile, I kind of, especially if I shave, if you put my face up next to Paul Rudd, my profile looks like him. So they say I'm the love child of Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd. So gave me a porcelains every year for my birthday. I hated them. Oh, do you still have them? Because that's freaky. Get rid of them. Yeah, that was a great story. Yeah, great stories tonight all around. So here we go. We've got Kathy Bates, again, very creepy in her own right, but she's going to take on Jason Voorhees, right? Proud. Thank you so much. And thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. And all the subscribers. And guys, subscribers, put up a Jesus nightlight for that last story because I'm scared. I'm scared now. And I'm going to have to go to bed soon. So, oh, you have him in the attic? That's even worse. Never go up there. Never go up there. Jaguar Girl's in the house. So, what's up with you? Thanks for coming. Jesus Nightlights. I love it. Thank you so much. And again, if you guys are subscribers and you're just coming in, go up, use your subscriber option, go in there. I have a new message. It's an addition to what we talked about last week, only for the subscribers. Huge update. Yeah, it's exciting things are happening. Exciting things are happening over here. So I would call in and tell you about our famous water babies, but it's too late here to physically talk. Well, if you can't call in next week. I'm here. We're doing this every Wednesday night, 9:00, right? 9:00 Central Time. So be here. Just call me early when you can. Yes. I know. Jason's like, please, I want to hear this story. And no, it's Jesus with thumbs up. It's like the Buddy Christ, but a little less sacrilegious. So, and no spilling secrets. That's right. Yeah. Whatever you see on there, we're keeping to ourselves, please. That is, that's yeah, insider information only. So here we go, guys. Kathy Bates, Jason Voorhees, who is arguably, I mean, he's one of the four horsemen, right? And the four horsemen, Jason, Mike Myers, Freddy Krueger, and then the fourth can be switched around. A lot of times it's Chucky. Chucky is the most common for that. But you can switch up Chucky, but the other three you cannot. So Jaguar Girl says it's an awesome secret. Thank you. Yes, it is. It is an awesome secret, and it's wild times is the best way I can explain that without giving anything away. Stuff keeps falling in my house after that story. All right. Say some prayers, bless some holy water, close your doors. One thing we're going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about tonight. This might end up being, my wife does not want me to talk about this. It's a story. It's a scary story where we might save this one for Halloween night. There is something in Texas called the Black-Eyed Children. If you want to go and look it up, you can. But we are going to be talking about the Black-Eyed Children as we get closer to Halloween, probably on Halloween, because it is so terrifying. So, and if you have food combos, please put that in my videos. It's my stuff that's falling. That's freaky. And I had one lady was on here, said she a couple weeks ago was having nightmares after watching this. That is not the point of this. The point of this is just to have some fun with it. Don't take it that seriously, right? Don't take it with you, right? Oh, that's the one, Slash Street Boys. I was looking for that. Was that on Amazon? I was trying to find a horror movie the other night, and I was like, one of these movies is just gonna pop into my head, and that was it, and it wasn't. I couldn't remember it. So the Black-Eyed Children are everywhere. Yeah, well, the most common ones that I've seen in like the books that I've read on it were almost primarily in West Texas. But we're definitely gonna be talking about that. So, but right now we've got to vote. We've got quite a few people in here. Let's vote on this. Jason Voorhees versus Kathy Bates. Who is moving on in the horror movie villain showdown? Who's going to the next round? Jason or Kathy Bates? Vote now. Put up a 1 for Jason. Put up a 2 for Kathy Bates. Right now, everybody, right now, just throw it up. 1 for Jason. 1 for Jason Voorhees. 2 for Kathy Bates. Right now, we got 1. Jason, Kathy. We're tied. 2 more for Jason. Jason's up by 2. What do you got, guys? We've got quite a few people in this room. Everybody gets a vote. Jason up by 3, down up by 2, up by 4. And everybody's getting in on this one. Come on, guys. We've still got more people. Who's vote? Jason Voorhees gets a 1. Kathy Bates gets a 2. Who wins and moves on in the bracket challenge? Jason is up by, I believe, 4 right now. Got it up by 5 right now. So we've still got some more people that haven't voted. Let's go ahead and get those votes in right now. Jason is up only by 5. We've got more than 5 people that have not voted. I'm going to give this about another 10 seconds. And after that, this is in the books. He's up by 4. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The voting is closed. And that's it, guys. Kathy Bates is done. Now, she made a good run. She made it through the first round. I didn't expect that. But it's kind of hard. It's really hard to beat Jason. I mean, and you know what it is? And that's why I brought some sound effects with me tonight, because these are the kinds of things that terrify us. The way they make the sounds, the music, just the lore of Jason is what really sucks us in. I mean, Kathy Bates, great character. Don't get me wrong, amazing character. But can she beat Jason? And you guys said no. You guys said absolutely not. Again, if you want to call in, usually I run this for about 2 hours. I'm probably going to go for about another 20 minutes here while we finish up the bracket. So if you do want to call with your scary story, I know we're getting more voters in here. I love it. I absolutely love it, because that's what this is about. This is you. You guys picked this list. I want you guys to vote on this list. So I will tell you, I'll play devil's advocate here, for certain characters. But at the end of the day, like, I would not have picked Mrs. Trunchbull to be in this bracket at all, right? But you guys did. So, and again, if you want to see the whole thing and you want to be able to see the board, go find me on Colombian Cracker spelled Craker. So, and if you want to call in, 512-937-2722. Yeah, Jason is. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. No drinking, no doing the dirty. Stay away from the lake. Yes, horror movie staples, right? Barbarian is so creepy. I was about to jump in my girlfriend. Oh man, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I saw it or not. I'm really not sure. Jason, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Camp Crystal Lake. And again, like, my wife loves Jason. Last year that was our Halloween. So it was Freddy versus Jason. I was Jason, she was Freddy. It was fantastic. We had a great time with it. And that's the thing, Linkish. It's like, Jason was not immortal in the first movie. You got to remember that. And it wasn't even the child Jason in the first movie. It was Mrs. Voorhees, right? But Jason is the child, and he tends to get resurrected. Let's say that. He doesn't die easily. Obviously, you cannot drown the man. So, let's see. My wife and I are excited for the new movie Smile coming. Dude, the weird, creepy advertisements with people just in random places smiling. Oh my God. I'm glad I haven't seen one of these people on the street, because it would definitely freak me out. So yeah. The girlfriend loves Halloween movies. You got to get on board with them. I'm telling you. I want to see Smile. I want to see it. They got me. They got me like they did when they had, what was it? The Blair Witch Project. The advertising is spot on. I'll take it any time. So great PR. I am from Missouri, living in Texas, Kansas City, Missouri. My wife's from Texas, so I'm here. There are a lot of really good horror movies that are starting to come out this year, and we haven't had them since before COVID. I'm stoked for them. So, only seen about 5 seconds of the Smile trailer. That's all you need to see. That's it. All you need to see is the smile. So so let's go into round two. We're going to start with our honorable mention. So just like you, the viewer, you guys were the ones that picked this, and we're going to go to Tom Quinn's favorite. I know Tom's still got to be here, right? Tom and Nico, they are big fans of Mrs. Trunchbull. Okay, Mrs. Trunchbull is going to be taking on the Creeper. And again, it's the music. The music itself does it for me. The Creeper is freaky. You talk about Jason not being able to die. Didn't the Creeper have its head chopped off at some point and grew another head? So what do you do with that? Good night, Miss Rebel Red. Thanks for coming. You have a great night too. We'll see you on Sunday for the game. So we got Conjuring fans in the house, it looks like. Jeepers Creepers was, like I said, when it came out in the early 2000s, it had the guy from that was in the Apple commercials. So good. Nice. Chiefs fans in the house. Samantha, you are very welcome. Thanks for being here. We've got Broncos fans in here. I got all kinds of fans in here. But we get together every Sunday for the Chiefs games. I do them live. I can't show them live, but we watch them together, right? So yes, he did, Lauren says. So, yes, in the second movie, got his head chopped off. It grew back like pretty quickly too. And I love the scenes because there's always these scenes in these movies where it's not like Jason where, you kind of think he's dead. Like you really think the Creeper is dead and then he comes out of nowhere. So, let's see. Yeah. All the limbs, even after being asleep for 27 years. That's right. And that's right. It's 27. Every 27 years he comes back to feed. So no. Samantha, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's absolutely right. No. And if I was in the area, I try to explain to people that if you're from the area, but you're from Kansas, you say KCK, people don't get it. But if you say Kansas City, you're from Missouri. So here we go. We're going to vote. We got quite a few people in here, enough that we can get a really good vote on this. So I want everybody to get ready to throw it in the chat. We are going to have the Creeper versus Matilda's villain, Miss Trunchbull. Okay. What do we do with this? If you have a vote for Miss Trunchbull, throw up a 1 right now. If it's the Creeper that is going to win this battle, you throw up a number 2 right now in the comments. Let's throw it up. The only flying thing that flies is huge wing. Yeah. And then he ended up, and it's the truck, right? The truck freaks me out too. So the Creeper is in the lead. We got 3 votes for the Creeper. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6. You play Mickey Mouse Halloween cartoons. Yeah, and they had some similar music. The Creeper is just going ahead. Everybody get in on this. Is it the Creeper or Miss Trunchbull? Miss Trunchbull, number 1. The Creeper, number 2. Miss Trunchbull somehow made it out of the first round last week, fighting Sam from what was it? Trick or Treat. No way. Come on, Matilda. We got 1-1. The Creeper is invincible. No, we've got about, I'd say, another 10, 15 seconds. We're going to let you vote. So if you have not voted, get your vote in right now. We've got a lot of 2s on there. We've got 1 for Miss Trunchbull. Can she come from behind in glorious fashion? I voted for Sam. You were the one that voted for Sam, just like Krampus. Was it Krampus that you voted for? It was Kathy Bates. That was Kathy Bates. So I think that's it, guys. I think the polls are closed, and that's it. That's the end of Miss Trunchbull. Her reign over the school has come to an end, and the Creeper moves on to the next round. So I'm gonna have to. I feel like a game show host / auctioneer right now. Yes, you voted for Krampus too. Yes, and you were not here, Jason. Were you here for that vote? I don't think you were here for Dr. Satan. there was somebody that it was that there was somebody who wasn't here for that. Pat Mahomes says number one. Excuse me. Yes. Okay. Linkish. If you can't see what's on the other side of the board, I am simulcasting right now. I got another camera right here. I am live on YouTube as well. You can see the entire board. Okay. Just find my name, Colombian Cracker. Cracker spelled Craker, and you'll be able to see in. So, and I need to pull this phone down so I can actually see what's going on there on my other live. This is my first night ever going live on YouTube, but I wanted to make sure that you guys could see this entire board. I have limitations here. So, and TikTok's been messing around with my videos a little bit, and not putting me out and not telling people that I'm live. So I have no qualms with them, but I want to make sure you guys know where I am at all times. So, because you guys are my community, you guys have been awesome. And wherever I am, I want you guys there. I'm voting for Pat, Brittany, and Travis. So number one wins. Number in this case, it ended up being number two. It was the Creeper. Now I've got two more down here. I'm gonna wait on the Freddy and Candyman. That is gonna be the last one we do tonight. Okay, so hang out with me. Okay, I'm not gonna be on for too much longer. Probably gonna go here for about another 15 minutes. But we have two more. And if you do decide that you want to call in and you have your scary story that you want to share with us, the number is 512-937-2722. But we have had a lot of really great stories. And I hope that Linkish says it's a little late for him to call right now. But Linkish, call next week. Well, like I said, we go on every Wednesday at 9 Central for this. So give me a call earlier in the night. So we're going to go to the Leprechaun and Pinhead. So, you got the notification? So I've been blowing TikTok up about that because people for weeks have been saying they go to my page and I'm live and it doesn't show them I'm live. So they can't get into my live. Even my wife can't. My own wife can't get into my live. So I hope so. Is anybody else having a trouble with the lag? Don't know the whole horror story during camping. So many good horror stories from camps, right? And it didn't end well for the intruder. That's funny. And you know what? I might have to, let's see. Jason says no. I don't know. That's weird. I'm not sure why. You see, there you go. Never been able to get in until tonight. So look, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. If TikTok's not gonna let us have fun, we'll do it somewhere else, right? So, but I do want to find out who is gonna win this one right here: Leprechaun versus Pinhead. This is insane. I wish I had some audio. I really wish I had some audio for the Leprechaun. But that right there.
How dare you use that word?
That keeps me up at night from being a little kid. Pinhead was always the most terrifying to me because not only could he couldn't die. He didn't want to kill you. He wanted to torture you for eternity and turn you into one of his creatures, right? So weird. I restarted my app and updated it, and now it works. Fantastic. There you go. All right. Yeah. And they did have some big updates recently, so it very well could be that. Right. Karen says that's a tough one. It's a very tough one. But it's Pinhead, right? Then you got the Leprechaun. And the Leprechaun is terrifying in his own right, especially for people of a certain age. Like the Leprechaun is just freaky. Now, he got a little cheesy and corny. You never had a Pinhead into hood kind of setup, right? Wishmaster was actually in our honorable mention. It didn't even end up happening, but great movie series for that time. But the Leprechaun got a little cheesy and corny as it went on, right? In the sequels, but still a pretty freaky little character. And again, something that we saw on the front of Lucky Charms boxes, right? Like these magical little creatures, and then they end up killing you and chopping your head off and killing you in numerous ways, right? So of local lore, KC killer clowns are 2 unknown. Oh my God. There's so many local lore things we could get into. That's true. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to vote on this. Okay. We're going to vote on this right now. We got even more people in here right now. So everybody gets a vote. Put it up in the chat. If you think the Leprechaun is going to win in this matchup, you put up a 1. If you think it's Pinhead, give me a 2. 1 for Leprechaun, 2 for Pinhead. Cast your vote right now. Camp stories are the best. The live, Justin, you just came in. We're doing a horror movie villain challenge. Who's going to win this round between the Leprechaun and Pinhead? Give me a 1 for the Leprechaun, 2 for Pinhead. We got 2 for 2, 3, 4, 5 for Pinhead, 1 for the Leprechaun, 1 for Leprechaun, 2 for Pinhead. Come on, guys. We've got so many people in this room. We can light up this board right now. There we go. Jason, thank you. I appreciate that. And get some roses coming in too. Two. Keep going, guys. You never know. Everybody gets a vote. Everybody gets involved. You never know. We could have like a come from behind victory here for the Leprechaun. Thank you, guys. Stoof K. Thank you. Helps me pay the food bills. We got a 2. We got the hand. Justin says 2. Thank you again for subscribing. I appreciate that. Justin, there's a new message, a new hidden message just for the subscribers that I just put up last night. Let's see. Man, that could be it. Moist, that could end up being it. Myers versus Creeper. I mean, that's a possibility for the finals. All right, I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds. 1 for the Leprechaun, 2 for Pinhead. Who moves on to the next round for our horror movie villains? Now, that one could happen, but it can't be the championship because of the way that the brackets are laid out for Freddy versus Creeper. And I think we've got everybody's vote in at this point. And you know what that means. The Leprechaun is no more. He has finally been defeated. Pinhead is moving on to the next round. We do have, we have a couple more rounds that we have to go. We're going to kind of spread them out over the next few as we get closer and closer to Halloween. And obviously we're going to put a little more thought into these as we go, and we have fewer people on the bracket list. So the last one here, and again, I'm so excited. I love it. I'm not sure, Rosie. We're putting all this together. You know, there's a lot going on. It's difficult. It's difficult to say. Eventually, I mean, it's happening. So eventually we're going to have to, let everybody in on the secret. Right. So, but right now it's only for subscribers. You guys are awesome. You guys help me keep me in food combo money. And so I wanted to stretch this out a little bit for you guys, so you guys can see behind the scenes what's going on. And I love that you're excited about it. I do. So yeah, for at least a few more days, you guys are going to be the only ones that know. How do you actually find the subscriber content? So you should be able to maybe go ahead and click on your star up there where you subscribed. And I'm thinking you can find your subscriber content where I see it is in the settings in the app. So you go to your home screen, and then in the upper right-hand corner should be like 3 lines or 3 dots, depending on your phone. You click that, and then a couple little options will pop up at the bottom of the screen. So you can get into your settings. And I'm sure you can see your subscriptions from there and access the secret message that I have for subscribers. So can you add the local scary guy? Sadly, Casey's very own scary guy, Bob. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of local scary people, especially in Kansas City, man. Especially with just how old the city really is. You know, we're not a big tear down city. We revitalize. But Texas is a little different. It's very tear down type of place. Like old buildings don't really stick around. They just demolish them, put up something new. She should. And she does. She just doesn't like getting on camera. She gets very camera shy and kind of freezes up, but she has no problem she is very fast-witted when she's not on camera. She loves to give me hell. The star doesn't show up for everybody. It should be right up at the very top here. There should be a place for you to subscribe. And yeah, we should be right at the very top next to my little icon up there. And that's where you get the little thing right next to your name, right next to See Justin Mann. And he has a little diamond there and it says CRKR. He's got a little cracker logo. And I have, you get your own like emojis and stuff that I put up, including the Jesus Nightlight that is here to protect us while we're talking about scary stuff. That was inspired by Rosie, who is a follower that a subscriber. Everybody said we need a Jesus Nightlight. There it is. Rosie's story was so freaky about the Jesus Nightlight that I had to get a Jesus Nightlight. And what was funny was she said that Jesus Nightlight looked a lot like the Jesus Nightlight. Chris won the 75 million jackpot and he's buying everyone here Super Bowl tickets. If I won the $75 million jackpot, there are like 38 people in here. I would say yes, 38 people. We are going to the Super Bowl. I would do that. Sadly, nay. So I am 18 plus. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it's not that kind of subscription. So it's you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. My wife barely wants to see that. Okay, so we've got one more challenge, one more showdown. We might have time for one more caller if you want to call in with your scary story. 512-937-2722. Till then, we have one more challenge today. Again, you can see this whole board on YouTube right now. This is the matchup. This is the best matchup of the night, and that is why I'm saving this, because personally, I believe this is like watching like Kansas and Kentucky play in the in the March Madness too early, like when they should have gone to the championship, but they end up in the same bracket for some reason. This is how it happened. Freddy Krueger is going to take on the Candyman. Now, I don't even know what to say about this. This is epic. This is Chiefs versus Bills last year, which was way better than the Super Bowl. For anybody that watched it, that was the game. They're calling it the greatest game of all time. This could be that matchup. Freddy versus Candyman, right? Think about this. And you know what? I want somebody to call in. I want anybody to call in right now and tell me who is going to win this matchup. And you better have a really good reason for who you're going to pick, because this is a heck of a matchup. Freddy Krueger versus the Candyman. They're very similar characters. No, it's just way over here. I don't have it set up for that. I will remember to do that next week. I am so sorry. It's such a good one. I know. This is it. This is the Chiefs versus the Bills. I'm telling you, this is it. So they posed for a pick right before they lost to the Chiefs. It happens. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so Freddy Krueger haunts your nightmares. You fall asleep, you get slashed up. By the way, go watch the movies that made us on Netflix, and they're doing horror movies right now. And they did one for the original Freddy Krueger. It's the making of. So good. There are so many cool things in there that you didn't realize. They literally made a room that flipped upside down so that they could have, remember when the blood came out of her, just like poured all over the room when she got drug up onto the ceiling. They talk about it and how they made that happen. It's so cool. Thanks for calling Freak Me Out. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Jason.
Jason, what's up, cuz? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I will keep this short and brief because it's very simple.
Okay, it's very simple. Okay, what do you got? Who do you got? You got Freddy, you got Candyman.
I got Freddy. Candyman does not have a chance.
Okay.
Dream world or not, all he has to do is turn into a mirror. Candyman's weakness is a mirror or a self-portrait, and one and done.
That's easy.
You don't think he has any way around that? Because remember what he did to Jason with the water, but it only held him for a certain amount of time.
That's true. But if that's his greatest weakness,
Right.
he could surround him in an infinity mirror, and he's done.
Okay. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head, what was so here's something interesting, was that didn't the Candyman die from fire, and then they covered him in beeswax and then torched him, right?
I believe so. Candyman is a weakness. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was it. That's how he originally died. They had covered him in beeswax, and then they lit him on fire. And the only thing I would think is that maybe he could counter that in some way, because Freddy's one weakness was fire, because that's how he died and why he had the scars, but again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, because I think you have a very compelling argument for Freddy Krueger here.
Well, and it's funny, with Candyman's paintings, he would always burn his self-portraits, so I think that's a valid counter. But at the same time, there's too much magic element to Freddy.
Right.
I don't think it's a fight.
Right.
I think it'd be a fight, but I think he would overcome.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think you make a very, very strong case for Freddy Krueger in this particular instance, that I didn't even think about, to be really honest. I just thought two characters that are, obviously, murderous characters that are more supernatural than they are flesh. And like even with Freddy, the only way you could kill him was actually to get him to find a way to pull him out of the dream, and then he becomes super vulnerable. So extremely hard to kill. I think you are absolutely right. I'm sorry that Dr. Satan didn't make it further for you.
Hold my grudge, man.
Hey, but at least he made it to the list, right? You got that.
No, only because you had to pull one extra out of the.
Hey,
out of the bowl.
It still happened. It still happened.
It did happen.
It did happen.
He'll be the darling next year. I'll be all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jason, thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in and telling us why Freddy is the clear-cut champion.
One and done.
All right, brother. Later. All right. And somebody said, it's the Freddy music. The music is such a big part of these characters. I don't think we even consider that, but these are the things that get stuck in our heads, right? Where is it? I had that. I know I had it here. There we go. So those little girls outside playing double dutch or jump rope, whatever. So freaky. But again, can Freddy take out the Candyman? It depends on where I'm going to eat, but it's going to be, for me, I love Gates. Gates, Arthur Bryant's, Casey Joe's are going to be my top three, depending on my mood. Yes, Rosie brought out the Jesus Nightlight. That music, oh man, I have goosebumps from that. Okay. I think it depends on where they're fighting. Atmosphere, location matters too. But let's just say they're in a dream world. I don't know. I don't know. Let's do this. It's getting late. It's 11:30. We've been going for 2.5 hours. I do got to get up and work at some point tomorrow. So let's do this right now. Everybody in this room gets a vote. If you're voting for Freddy to move on to the next round, give me a 1. If it is Candyman, put a 2 up right now. 1 for Freddy Krueger, 2 for the Candyman. And let's see who moves on to next week. Good night to you, Karen. Thanks for being here. But they're both in a dream state, right? You have to bring the Candyman out, right? He is a spirit in his own right in that way. That's why I think these two make such an intriguing matchup. against one another. We've got a lot of ones. Freddie's coming out. I'm sorry, Freddie's coming out strong. 3 hours till work, but this is more important. I love it. Justin, thanks for being here. Freddie shapeshifts. Freddie does shapeshift. He absolutely does. They both have similar weapons. Freddie has the claws on his hands. Candyman has the hook. So, but Arthur's meat, but hates sauce for only reason. Okay. Arthur's sauce on the meat in the restaurant, not out of the store. Yes. Gates out of the store. I'll put it on anything. Priorities. That's right. All right. Jason is way in the lead, but we have a lot of people that have not voted. So I'm going to leave the voting open for at least 20 more seconds. If you think it's Freddy Krueger or Candyman, Freddy gets 1, Candyman gets a number 2. Everybody should get a vote for this. Put it up right now. Hello. Subjective comedy. I love it. What's up? Freddy. Tom Quinn says Freddy. Man, this is actually like very one-sided. I thought that this was going to be one of these. I'm not sure. I'm going to go about 10 more seconds. I vote 3 for Creeper. Creeper has already moved on to the next round. We're going to find out who the Creeper is going to fight next week. I'm a little sad, to be honest. Yep. 1 for Robert Englund's Freddy. It's got to be Robert Englund. I'm not taking any other Freddy. I did like the guy that played Rorschach, that played him. I love him as an actor. I even didn't mind him as Freddy. The movie was bad. The backstory was horrible. I didn't like the way they played that up. Need to see Candyman again. Oh, you do. And I need to see the new one. I haven't seen it. All right. So I think that's it. I think we got it figured out, guys. I think that's it. Candyman is done. Freddy made quick work of the Candyman. My writing is horrible if you're watching on YouTube, but I'll have this looking a little bit better next week. I'll get my wife to write it out. She's way better handwriting than I do. So next week, we're going to figure out who's moving on. We've got Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. We've got Freddy Krueger. We've got Pinhead still in this one. It's going to be very, very difficult to take down. Okay. Jason Voorhees. The one of, again, all the horsemen are here, right? Pinhead, Freddy, Jason, Mike Myers. They're here. Pennywise, Tim Curry Pennywise. Very specific about that. It's got to be Tim Curry, they said. Not the new one, even though the new It movies were done very well. The guy who plays him is very creepy. But you know what? Is not Tim Curry. He'll never be Tim Curry. You can't do it. And that's, I don't know. We've got a couple extra. I got to figure that out. So right now, I made the bracket wrong. So we have like an extra on each side. So I've got to figure out how I'm going to work this bracket. A couple of these guys might end up getting a bye, and that might be the only way that we can do that. So if we did a bye, actually, let's do that. We're going to have to do that. Somebody needs a bye. That's the only way, because of the number of things that we had. So let's figure that out. Let's figure that out right now. We're going to vote on the bye. Okay. Somebody's going to, two of these villains are going to get a bye next week. And we need to figure out who's going to get that bye. On this side, we have Jason. You're going to vote on the bye. None of this is on me. This is all yours. You guys pick these out. All I'm doing is running the board. That's it. So it doesn't mean they're out if you don't vote for them. They're still going to be in, but somebody's got to get a bye. Who's got the steam here to get a bye this week? So Rosie says, how about all 5 foot of Rosie? She's coming for us. She's going to take on Pinhead next week. That would be fun. That would be really fun. And the Jesus Nightlight versus the Nun. I still say the Jesus Nightlight wins that one. I say that it's going to happen. The Jesus Nightlight, if you put it on this bracket, wins hands down. There's no way it doesn't. So, all right. So the buy is going to have to be, okay, we're going to do one side of the bracket. I'm going to tell you the 3 people that are up for the buy. Okay. You're going to vote for one of these 3 people. You're going to put up a number 1, a number 2, or a number 3. Whoever wins is going to have the buy next week. Okay. We've got Jason, we've got Mike Myers, and Pennywise. Who gets the buy? Who is good enough that they get to go on without fighting? Okay. Without fighting next week. And then they automatically go to the next round. Give me a number 1 for Jason. Give me a 2 for Mike Myers. Give me a 3 for Pennywise. 1 for Jason, 2 for Mike Myers, 3 for Pennywise. Who is that badass that they get a bye? They don't have to play next week. They get a week off. We've got number 2. Mike Myers is taking this right now. Mike Myers has 3. Pennywise has 1. Let's see. Keep going. Okay. 2, 1, 1. Right now, Mike Myers is in the lead. Let's see. 3, 3, 2. I'm starting to lose count here. I got too many. Okay. We've got more people than this in here. We can vote for this. Jason, can you do me a favor and go through and start counting these 3s and 2s? 1. That's the only one that Jason has not had very many votes. I am very surprised. I thought I was going to see a ton of 1s. This is why this is so fun, because I have no idea how this is going to go. Again, who knew Mrs. Trunchbull would be in round 2, but she's gone. Okay, we're going to go for about another 10 seconds. If you want to get your vote in, do it right now. We got about 10 seconds. And Jason, will you do me a favor? Okay, so JN of Alabama said there are 7 2s. I've been drinking too much to keep up. That's all right. I'm drinking Red Bull at 11:30 at night. Probably not a good idea. We got another one. Okay. How many 3s do we have? We've got 7 2s. How many 3s do we have? And then that is going to show us who's going on, who's getting the bye next week. Jason is biased versus Jason. That's you may be right. You may be right. All right. So is somebody helping me out and counting the 3s for me? Can we do mythical creatures for a fight in the future? Maybe. We might have to do, like, the bracket is so much fun. We may have to do some more. Ooh, Slender Man versus the Grudge. The girl from the Grudge almost made it, but she actually got beat out by the girl from the Ring. What is her name? Samara from the Ring. 2 very similar characters. We went with the Ring. Can I put up a poll afterwards? Because if I can, then I'm going to have to do that in the future. I can do that 1 and 2. So we've got 7 3s. We got 8 2s. Okay. I'm going to call it a tie right now between, what is it? Mike Myers and Pennywise. I'm going to give you 15 more seconds on the clock. Right now. Put it up. Put it up right now. Give me a 1 for Jason, 2 for Mike Myers, 3 for Pennywise. We got about 10 seconds. Whoever puts it up, vote again if you want to. Let's just get them up there right now. There we go. We got 2 3s. 1 2. All right. 2 2s. We're tied. Keep going. 3. 2. We got another 2. 3. 3. 2. We're tied still. I'm gonna flip a coin here in a second. All right. 2 2 3 3. See, it came out again. It just keeps tying. I don't know how to split this tie. I wish I had a quarter. I don't keep change on me like I did when I was a kid. Okay. Who's somebody that has not voted? Okay, we got some more 3s. Okay, 3 3 3 3 3. I think I got to flip a coin. I think I'm going to flip a coin. If I had a coin, what can I flip? I'm going to flip the top of my my Red Bull thing here. Okay. Just give it to Pennywise. Should I just give it to Pennywise? By 3, by 4? Okay. All right. So what are you saying, Jason? Who won that? Tell me who it was. Was it Mike Myers or Pennywise? Pennywise? Flip your hat. All right. It was Pennywise wins. Okay. We'll go with that. Pennywise gets the bye. All right. Pennywise gets the bye. So that means in that bracket next week, Pennywise got the bye. How did Pennywise? That's crazy. Next week, Jason and Mike Myers are going to fight here, 9 o'clock. Next Wednesday, 9 Central. And the winner of that will go on to fight Pennywise for the right to go to the championship. I got goosebumps saying that. Oh, man. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you guys and everybody that was helping me try to keep up with the numbers. Usually Ashley's awake and just starts counting for me. All right. So here we go. The other side of this bracket. We got to find who else gets a bye. Again, because he's coming for you, Georgie. Oh, well, okay. So the other side of the bracket, who gets the bye? We have the Creeper. We have Freddy, and we have Pinhead. I really feel it's hard to say. I want to say the Creeper, Freddy, and Pinhead is a stronger 3 than Jason, Mike Myers, and Pennywise. But when I think about it, the more I think about it, this is going to come down to a crazy, crazy fight. You will float too. Oh, man. Okay. Tim Curry for love and support. Creeper, Freddy, and Pinhead. We're going to start the voting in just a second. The Creeper, you will throw up a number 1 if Creeper gets the bye. You throw up a number 2 if it's Freddy Krueger. Throw up a number 3 if Pinhead gets the bye. Which is the creepiest of all 3 of these? That's who should get the bye. You ready? Vote now. 1 for Creeper, 2 for Freddy Krueger, and 3 for Pinhead. 1 for Creeper, 2 for Freddy, 3 for Pinhead. We've already got 2. Freddy is well in the lead on this. 2, 2, 2. Keep going. Number 1, they say Creeper's immortal. 1, 1, 1, 2. Everybody in this room. We've got 40 plus people here. Everybody throw them up. 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. The 2s are still in the lead here, but we got some 1s coming out. 2, 2, 2. There, Chucky. Yep. Yeah. Where is Chucky? Chucky's gone. Chucky lost last week. Chucky no more. 2, 2, 2. Yeah, and Chucky was here. Trust me. He's been here. Chucky is still here in spirit. Why can't I get this? There we go. He's gonna be here in spirit. Okay. But tonight, we moved on, and now we're looking for the bye, and I think we're gonna call it. That's it. Everyone throw up a 1 for the Skinwalkers coming for you. Creepy story, man. So creepy. I was there. I was right there with you in that story. I love the way you told it. Amazing. Thank you guys all for the great stories tonight. But I got to tell you, Freddy is moving on. He got the bye. Freddy and Pennywise got the byes. That means next week, Jason and Mike Myers are going to fight it out to see who's going to fight Pennywise to go to the finals. And then on the other side, this is a matchup right here. The Creeper versus Pinhead. That's it. Winner moves on. Single elimination. And whoever wins between Creeper and Pinhead will fight Freddy Krueger to go to the finals. I love this. This is getting good. We've got a lot of the riffraff out of the way, and we're down to your core teams, right? We really are. Ash versus the Evil Dead Boomstick, one of the greatest weapons of all time. It is the battle of the ages. Let's get ready to rumble. This is This is so good. And next week, I'm also going to be simulcasting on YouTube as well. If you want to come join me there, so you can see the whole board. I am right now, actually. So, Creeper and Pinhead, so good. I can't wait. I know that might. We've had some really good matchups. Like I said, like I really like the Freddy versus, or was it Freddy versus the Tooth Fairy? That one, I thought that was going to be a better matchup, but man, Freddy just took it away. We've had some great matchups so far, but they're getting the competition is getting better. It's tightening up here. So there it is. Tom Quinn put up the Jesus Night Light. I love it. So next week, 2 big matchups, and we're gonna build up to those while we're listening to horror stories. Jason versus Mike Myers, Creeper versus Pinhead, and Freddy and Pennywise get a pass. They get a bye. They move on. They're that freaky that we have decided that we're gonna let them move on to the semifinal round. Eek, a clown. Yes. I think that's what it is, Rosie. I think not enough people saw that movie, but that also goes to the hype around this, is that, what scared us. If you did it and you weren't scared by it, then it's not going to motivate you to vote for him, right? Freddy, it's funny. He's a fictional character about somebody who haunts your dreams, but he haunts a lot of our dreams. Good night, Tom. Tell Nico I said, hey. Thank you so much for calling in and telling us your ghost story tonight. It was so good. Not to be religious, but Odin saved me. Is that religious, or is that just Marvel fans at this point? So I love it. Thanks, Tom. Throw up the cracker. There you go. So Justin. So let's recap the night. We'll just do a quick recap of fights that we had between our horror movie villains before we head out for the night. Here we go. So this second round, Jason Voorhees versus Kathy Bates. Jason killed Kathy Bates about as quickly as any matchup ever could have gone. Okay. Mike Myers beat out the doll Annabelle. Pennywise beat evil Santa Claus Krampus. Mrs. Trunchbull, our sleeper, our Cinderella story that never should have been. This is like UMKC in the making it into March Madness. Made it this far, but easily got taken out by the Creeper. Freddy Krueger beat the Candyman. That was the matchup of the night. That was the Sunday night, Monday night feature. Okay, that was it. Freddy versus the Candyman, and Freddy came out on top. We even had a caller. Jason called in to tell us exactly why Freddy beat the Candyman, and I think he's right. I think he called it. All he'd have to do is use the mirror. And once he found out his weakness, like the Candyman would get him for a while, once he found out that weakness, he'd hold up the mirror and have him trapped forever. So, way before Marvel. Yeah, no, I know you're being silly. I was being silly too. Pennywise is going to come out on top. He loves the Chiefs. I just know it. That's funny. Got to have the G on the horned god and the goddess. 15K likes. Thank you guys. Oh yeah, well, actually we're at 15.8. We're almost at 16. I love it. Thank you. So yeah, Freddy and the Candyman, and then the final matchup of the night was the Leprechaun versus Pinhead. Come on. Did we even need a vote on that one? But yet, that's how the brackets lined up. So the Pinhead made quick work and tortured the Leprechaun for all eternity, and he has moved on. Now, the funny thing was, we had to, because of the number of people in the brackets, if you're just joining us, we had to have a bye. We had to pick who was going to get a bye in these. On one round, on one side, it's Pennywise. Pennywise won your vote. He is the one that torments you, and he is the one that you guys have said is spooky enough, villainous enough, murderous enough, just scary enough that he gets a bye. He gets to move on to next week. And on the other side, Freddy Krueger gets the bye. So that means that next week when we're here, 9:00 Central, Jason is going to take on Mike Myers. And whoever wins that matchup is going to take on Pennywise in the semifinals to see who goes on to the championship round. And then also next week, the Creeper is going to take on Pinhead. And whoever wins that epic matchup gets to take Freddy Krueger in the semifinals. This is getting really fun. This is getting extremely fun. I love the creepiness of it. Throw it up for me right now. You know who we have. I want to know who do you think is going to go to the final? Who do you think is going to be the finals matchup? On one side, we have Jason, Mike Myers, and Pennywise. And on the other side, we have the Creeper, Freddy, and Pinhead left. Who's it going to be? Think about it. Is it going to be Pennywise versus Freddy? Is it going to be Jason versus Pinhead? Mike Myers versus the Creeper? It could just be old school favorite Freddy versus Jason 2. Oh, I know. Justin, if they made like a Super Smash Brothers with these characters, that would be the only game I'd ever play like ever again. That would be it. But it would need to be like let's say Super Smash Brothers versus, or make it like the Friday the 13th video game. If you guys have ever played that, if you haven't, you should. It is amazing. Highly replayable because it's online, multiplayer, and you just threw all these players into Camp Crystal Lake. That would be my game. I would stop doing TikToks and I would stream playing that game 24 hours a day. Patrick Pennywise Mahomes. Oh my God. Pinhead is definitely the most powerful. Creeper and Freddy next toppers. Okay. All right. Creeper and yeah, and that's it. That's the thing with Pennywise or with Pinhead. He's still going to have to go up against either Freddy or the Creeper. Well, next week he fights the Creeper. We don't even know if he's going to make it out of that round yet. I don't know. We'll find out. I love real ghost stories. Yeah, I do too. That's why we have this, to scare each other a little bit, to have some fun, to relive some weird stories, like Rosie who called in, Tom that called in, Viking that called in. I mean, who was the first one? I forget his name. Maybe he's still here. Just some wild stories that people have been calling in with the last few weeks, sharing their scary stuff. I've shared some of mine too. And we're going to keep doing this every Wednesday night, 9 Central, right here on TikTok. And I'm simulcasting right now on YouTube for anybody who's over there on the YouTube side, so that you could see the board, because I have limited space to work with here on TikTok. Linkish is over there. He said, since I switched to YouTube, no lag at all, by the way. I can see the YouTube chat. I'm sorry I had the phone line on top of it. You can see my skull a little bit better. I'm going to have to do a little more with the camera. This is my first night. I don't quite have the angle I want with it. But no, I have no problem with religious posts. We just obviously we don't get into a lot of that here, but everybody's welcome here. That's the thing. This is for you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, this is for you. This is for us. We're just having fun. That's all we do here. This is what we do on our channel. We try weird stuff, weird food combos. We watch football together, and we tell ghost stories. And that's how I like it. And that's it. We're not getting into politics. We're not getting into religion. We're just having fun. The new Pinhead wouldn't beat Chucky. Well, see, we haven't seen it yet, so we don't know. It's the same Pinhead. It's the same creature. just a different telling of it, and a different actor. And that's the thing. The creepiness from Pinhead was also the actor, right? I mean, amazing voice. One of the again, it's the music, it's the voice, that adds a creepiness to it. Jason, you never hear the voice, right? You just hear the music, and you know Jason is coming. You know Jason is close. You know that the cheerleader is about to trip, right? And with Pinhead, all you got to hear is that gruff voice, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no. Right? Yes, that's right. The Green Witch. Oh, I love it. You are always welcome here, Lauren. There you go. I want Pinhead. I always want Pinhead to win. I love Pinhead, right? But look, I want a good matchup, and I want you to have good reason for it, right? I mean, like, if these guys like Jason, Mike Myers, Pennywise, Pinhead, Freddy, Creeper, think about it. These guys are going to fight it out. We better have a damn good reason why that guy's going to win over another. So, it's the quiet ones you got to look out for. That's true. They're unpredictable. See, we got Jason for the win. Jason thinks it's Jason. You know what? You might be right. He always comes up with the good ones. You know what? The Green Witch emote. All right. I will work on that. The Jesus Nightlight came together just beautifully. Just it was perfect. It was perfect. Rosie's story was perfect, and I just happened to find the perfect nightlight. Let me see if I can find a Green Witch. Let me see if I can find one. I think that's definitely worth looking into, as long as Lauren is okay with it. I think that could be fun. So, but again, these characters are so fun. The stories that you guys are calling in and telling while we're doing these have been spectacular. They're keeping me on the edge of my seat. And again, we call this Freak Me Out. And it's not to have a clever name for the show. It's literally because I just want you to call in and freak me out. I mean, honestly, that's I love it. I love Halloween. I love this time of year. This is my wheelhouse. I love it. Yes, Justin. By the time we get to Halloween, we're gonna have just a plethora of emotes that are probably all recommended by Justin, and it's gonna be spectacular. It's gonna be amazing. Don't leave the tent. I have no trouble sleeping. Well, okay, let me say this. Not from scary stuff. I have trouble sleeping because I'm ADHD, and it's hard to get my brain to slow down. So, but besides that, no. Once I go to sleep, my wife says I'm like a child. She makes a good point. She said, I hate going to sleep and I hate waking up. So once I'm out, I'm out. Congrats on the 17.3 thousand likes. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I know some of you guys are just over there just clicking away. That is amazing. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for everybody that JN of Alabama. We got Rosie. We've got Proud Viking. I'm trying to remember who all is on here that has subscribed to the channel. You guys are awesome. The support is amazing. It helps me to be able to afford to do all these videos. And you'd be surprised how much money goes into it. And I really, really thank you so much. And again, you guys have been asking when I'm going to make the secret public. I'm not going to make it public just yet. If you're a subscriber, you've got the secret messages that only you can see. And that is, again, that's our secret between us, but it gives you a behind the scenes look. And I'm really happy to be able to share that with you, so it's very cool. It's without giving too much away. It's amazing. Right. So yeah, if you're subscribing and you're just coming in here, go check your secret message only for subscribers. It's it's good stuff. You don't hit a bear with a log. I know. It would be cool. It would be really cool. I will always be a kid. I will too. Justin Man with the star. Boogeyman, get your toes. Man, I don't know if I was ever scared of anything under the bed. I was always scared of something out of my window. And I think that was, Rosie, why one of the reasons why the Tooth Fairy from Darkness Falls freaked me out so much. Because remember, like the rattling of the branches scratching the window kind of thing. That reminds me of something that, right outside my window when I was a kid in the branches of the tree, and it scared me to death. And there are these things that I remember just being scared in my room trying to go to sleep. So, and aliens, yeah. You're welcome. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. I really do. Well, guys, I'm going to have to call tonight. We've been going for 2 hours and 55 minutes, and I got to get up in the morning. I got to go to work. I got to pay the bills. Yeah, see, I had a scratchy tree on my window too. What is it? What is it with that? You never see that anymore. Maybe it's because everybody grew up and they were like, I'm done with the scratchy windows. No, I say nay, no more in my house. So I'm gonna decline. Somebody's trying to come in and talk to me right now, but I gotta go. I gotta get some sleep. Well, there you go. So you got some time to chill out, right? So you're not going straight to bed. I am though. Dude, scared of my grandma's porcelain doll room that I had to sleep in. Yeah. Jason and I have a very similar scenario that we had to deal with, and it freaked me out. It freaked him out. Porcelain dolls, man. Not doing it. I'm getting out of here, guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, you guys that are showing up every week for this, every week, like clockwork, 9 Central, every Wednesday. I don't even know what to say. I'm honored. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really do. All you new guys that are coming in, thank you so much. You're always welcome here. We try to have fun. We're going to do it again next week. I'm going to do a live this weekend for the Chiefs game. I'm not sure when they play. I think it's Sunday afternoon, but no, it might be Sunday night. It's Sunday night. And I got this. There's this British guy on TikTok that just moved to the US. He just started watching American football, has no idea what's going on. He's on TikTok. I'm trying to get him to come over and do a side-by-side live with me and watch the Chiefs game. We'll see if I can get him on. So, oh man, have a great night. Thanks for everything. Monster. You know what? You're right. You are right. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going out the wrong way. Where is it? There we go. Was this it? What is this? There it is. That's got to be it, right? I downloaded the Monster Mash song. I think it's just spooky sounds. Unless this is like the extended cut. Come on, it said it was the song. We got to close in style. We always close with a song. On the other ones, we play closing time. There we go. There we it. One last call for alcohol. Something that's wild. Interesting little side note. The song Closing Time is not about leaving a bar. It is about being born. It's very interesting. Go and listen to the words. It's actually about being born into the world and coming out and seeing the light for the first time. It's very odd. But yet we all play it. They all play it when the bars close. We play it when we close our regular lives. But for this, it's the Monster Mash. And I think it's fitting. No, really, with booze. So no, go listen to the song. I'm serious. It's about being born. It's weird. It's strange. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate you. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for all the likes. We're at 17,400 likes. That is awesome. Again, I'm doing some different things because TikTok isn't like helping me at all. Not even showing a lot of people that I'm live. So I'm simulcasting right now on YouTube. If you're there, thank you so much. And Linkish actually said since he went to YouTube, he hasn't had any problems with it. So no lag at all. So I think TikTok's messing with me. I don't know why. I've had videos I put out that got 0 likes. I mean, 0 views, like 0 views. So I'm like, okay. The winner should have a theme song as the outro music. That is true. But it's kind of hard because we've had so many winners, you know. But next week, Jason Voorhees, Mike Myers, the Creeper versus Pinhead. It can't get any better than that. It really can't. Lauren, thank you. Everybody didn't have a notification this week. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My wife, it's not even showing her that I'm live. She can't even get into it. It's ridiculous. But you know what? It's okay. Like I said, wherever I am, I'm going to make sure you guys know. Thank you guys for subscribing. I truly appreciate it. I don't know what else to say. I think we're done. I think I'm thoroughly freaked out. I'm going to go and relax a little bit so I don't go hit the bed with these freaky stories. And I'm just got skinwalkers on the brain right now. So thank you. I appreciate that. And just tell them to come next week. We'll be here 9:00. So good night, Rosie. And you know what? I like that. I'm out too. You guys have a great night. We'll see you this weekend for the Chiefs game, Sunday night. Later. All right, guys, if you're still on YouTube, I have to walk away. There's like a delay. There's like a weird delay on. I don't know why this just went all fuzzy. That's so strange. Well, it really did go fuzzy. I don't know what happened. Okay. I'm out of here. If I could figure out how to end this live, there we go. Later, guys. I'll see you next week.